In a world where legends are forged in fire and victory demands more than skill, the arena awakens once more, and from every corner of the globe, warriors come, not for fame, not for glory, but for the right to be called the best. Welcome you all to the True International Season 2, ladies and gentlemen. And of course, this journey is not gonna be, looked or, adventured alone. We're gonna be with the one and only, I can say, my right-hand man when it comes to casting. It is one and only Bladed Armor Wands. How's it going, man? You're finally here. Yesterday we weren't here. My God, you're looking nice, man.
Yeah, it's been a long time, since I got back into international. I remember the first time it was in season 1. But yeah, guys, it's me and Bolty once again in season 2. And man, I'm so excited to cast today with you. After yesterday's game, I was watching you, I was watching Ash, and oh my lord, I was so excited, for today to get a chance to cast. And here I am today for the True International. Alongside with me, it's gonna be Bolty. And today, what are the teams that are going to be playing up against each other? It is going to be 7 Seas and
of course, Frame X N8IV, all the way from Philippines. Bhutan versus Philippines we're talking about here. But before that, True International is an esports organization dedicated to building a competitive and collaborative space in the world of gaming, of course. And we are serving as a bridge between esports communities and focusing on hosting, inclusive and internationally accessible tournaments. That is why we're here. We're looking for the bridge to get all the nations together as well. And yes, participant nation like Laos, Bhutan, Indonesia, Philippines, Malaysia, India, and Timor-Leste. But right now, it's going to be up against Bhutan and Philippines. And we also want to thank our sponsor, NextG, for making this happen. A little bit of a prize pool for the winners of this tournament. So with that being said, I'm feeling like our boys are ready for the interview section here. If only we can get into that. Right, Wands, you want to take the questions, or you're just gonna leave it to me, or what?
I mean, we could do that together, since it's an interview. So yeah, I'm talking about the interview. I'm so excited to see the players here because we are having a live interview, guys. See all the players as well. So yeah, I'm really excited to see the youngsters here and get to to interact with them. And as for the questions, I feel like it's gonna be pretty much, a really easy sessions of question for the players because, yeah, this is not a quick guide. This is just an interview.
Yep, absolutely. I guess I'm gonna ask one question. You ask one question as well, and then we'll just speed it up to the drafting phase as well. But it seems like our boys finally opening their cams. I'm seeing some very handsome faces actually. Yep, we got Zephyr. I'm pretty sure we're gonna be seeing Super Dons as well, and here we are. I feel like the first it's gonna be Zephyr. How's it going, man? How's it going? How are you feeling today?
Hi, Mr. Bolty and Mr. Wands. Well, we're super hyped right now, and we're thrilled, and we're ready to show everyone what we've got.
Wow!
Absolutely. What about you, Wands? Do you have anything to say for us?
I mean, talking about questions, Zephyr, how are you feeling about the opposition team that you're going to be facing up against today with your team? Are you guys prepared? What homework have you done against the team that you're facing tonight?
Good question.
Well, we've been preparing for months, and now is the time to show what we've got. And yes, we're ready.
Okay. Okay. You sound really prepared because you've been saying for months. So I'm really excited to see how this is gonna play out. Yeah, so Bolty, why don't you, ask the next question to our next guy here?
Yep, Super Donza. Crazy. I'm seeing you rocking the Brent Esports jersey there with the ROG there. Damn, man. Really got the stuff. Anyways, man, what are you guys' preparation for this coming match against your opponents?
Oh, it seems like he's muted and he's unaware. So can you turn on your mic? It seems like you're muted then.
So it seems like Super Donza here, a little bit muted, but I'm pretty sure it'll be alright though. Once you get his mic fixed, he'll be coming with a very nice answer to our question, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, we're talking about international bridge, guys. So there is a drawback when it comes to these kind of tournaments. Is usually the ping issues, and then we're mainly got teams from Southeast Asia, and then most of the teams, it's kind of like sad to say that most of the countries don't have good internet, so we also have to keep that into consideration. But other than that, I seem like we're back in here. I guess we won't be getting the other interview over here. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I don't think so, but it's completely all right. I hope they can speak their interview question maybe on their gameplay against their opponents, don't you think, Vance?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, why do you want to speak if you can just show it in the game, right? And that's, action speaks louder than words. So we're just gonna see what they're gonna bring to the table here in the game for us. So yeah.
Absolutely. Alright, we're still waiting for the 7 Seas to be done as well, but 7 Seas from Bhutan. Actually, very, very interesting right here. I'm pretty sure when it comes to Bhutan lineup, there's 7 Seas, there's IC Paradise, and there's also Onyx Paradox. I'm pretty sure I've casted their matches in the Bhutan qualifiers as well. It was up against IC Paradise and Onyx. Yeah, Onyx Paradox, I think. Yeah. And they were actually pretty good. They're seeing very promising, drafting as well. But hopefully they can compete against the mother of MOBA, the land of Philippines right here. Because Friends X and 8IV, I'm pretty sure they are the winner of the international qualifiers that is, held in Falls Channel. And yes, Saraz Bulldog was casting there. Good caster, guys. So Amy said, anytime now, I guess we'll be heading to the drafting phase since we're not going to be getting the interview from the other side. But it's completely fine because, like Juan said, action speaks louder than words.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. And, while we're waiting for the draft, I just want to talk about the previous season, where Indonesia and Philippines, they totally, surprised me. They really caught me off guard because the meta that we have in India, it's totally different from what we have in the other regions, and that is where in the international I got to witness the meta. And one of the heroes that is still in my mind that has totally fascinated me was the Freya picks that are very popular in the region of Indonesia and Philippines. And man, Bolty, if we talk about Freya from Philippines or Indonesia, they are not any kind of a normal Freya, because even the build, it is just way too different. Because if you talk about the build, man, I've seen a Freya go, Freya jungle, first item, War Axe, second item, a bloody golden staff, to stack up those stacks on her passive and just spam, the spirit combo without a break. And that is just, something which really caught me off guard, because that actually works. And, the spell vamp from the War Axe with the true damage and the extra stats just makes Freya such a formidable force to battle against. So yeah.
Yeah, of course, Freya here, but we see the shifting of the meta. The new patch note came like a few days ago, and then yesterday Saras was talking about it a lot, giving us his insight about what is buff, what is nerf, so all those stuff as well. So it's been a few days, but if I'm being talking about that, most of the players will find a way to kind of adapt to the meta right now. As you know, the meta is currently shifting to the fighter meta, because there's a lot of fighters that have a very, very broken buff. We can name maybe Arlott, we can name Xborg as well. Ruby also got some spell vamp, which is like in the sustain meta, but I think the sustain meta is finally back because some of the anti-heal items are nerfed down, choke down and maybe below 50% heal reduction now. So yeah, even a Uranus as well is revamped, so lots on the table, man.
Yeah, I mean, talking about the anti-heal, which has been nerfed. Before dominance, it reduces your anti-heal by 50%. Now it only reduces by 40%. So that is gonna affect a lot of heroes, spell vamp heroes in positive way, because now the anti-heal reduction has been reduced to 40%, so it won't affect them much. And then that's where the high sustain heroes and this Spellvam and Life Steal heroes come at Rise. And yeah, with that we've also seen, the meta shifting more into the tank meta. Because as of now, all the healers actually, they've been nerfed to the ground because the heal on, Florin on her ultimate, that is the immunity of the anti-heal that has also been removed. As for Angela, her shield has been reduced. Estes, his heal has been drastically been nerfed as well. But to compensate for that, they've gave him an extra passive where if he's linked to a hero like an ally, then he can provide that ally with extra defense, which stacks about up to 15 to 30. So that's a good amount of hybrid defense for Estes. But yeah, I don't think that makes up for the heal, because Estes was not one of the best healer picks, and with the heal reduced, I don't feel like he's gonna be much viable as well. And yeah, talking about the patch, the multi, I feel like fighters, as you mentioned, we are definitely leaning into the fighter meta, because fighters have received a lot of love, and boy, Arlord is one of them. So I feel like we're gonna see a lot of Arlord. And man, I can't forget about our boy Lapu Lapu. He is a legend, right? And man, he is just right back into the meta as well.
Oh, wait a minute, once we're getting some feed over here. We're having Tashi onto the interview stage. Hello, man. How's it going, man? Seeing a little bit of a smile there, but how are you guys prepared so far for this upcoming match?
We didn't get to prepare properly because we didn't know about the tournament till yesterday.
Hey, oh, Wanz, what do you have to say about that? That's actually crazy.
Wow, that is actually crazy. But you know what's crazier? The confidence in you guys, to participate despite not having enough practice. Because you know what? Screw the practice. We are here to showcase our skills, and that's what we're gonna do. So you guys are literally coming in with that kind of mindset. But yeah, if you guys, you're synergizing really well with one another, I feel like that can make up for the practice that you've lacked. So I'm rooting for you guys, to show us what you've got.
Right, seems like, thank you so much for the session here, man. I hope you guys done a completely fantastic job against the other opponents. So here we are, both of the teams are interviewed, of course. I thought we're not going to be having that last interview, but yeah, we finally have it. But this time, like Tashi said there, no practice, no nothing. It's just gonna be straight up barren balls. But I like that kind of confidence, ladies and gentlemen, because up against somebody, if you can pull that up, then it's a high risk reward, or what do you like to say it? High play, high risk, high reward, something once?
Definitely. And yeah, it seems like we'll be heading into the draft in about a minute or so. So yeah, just hang around and we'll be right into the drafting phase. And yeah, Bolty. So yeah, we've interviewed these teams, and we've talked with Zephyr, and we've talked with what was his name again?
Now it was Super, but for the Super Zoza, I don't think he was there anymore. But yes, the last one was Tashi Slin or Zing. If I butchered your name, I'm so sorry, my guy.
Yeah, so we've interviewed these, right? And the confidence, man, that's coming up from both of these, who we've interviewed so far, it's really good, because it seems like despite one of them not being prepared, they're still here up, coming up here and playing without any practice, because they just got to know about the tournament yesterday, which is absolutely crazy. But then again, the other guy, Zephyr, on the other hand, he said we have been preparing for months. So I'm actually really excited, to see how Indonesia will play off, because it's months that we're talking about. So is it gonna be like a battle between a 1 day practice or months of practice? Who's gonna your predictions?
I don't know. Don't know, man. Like anything can happen, especially in the international stage, because there's also be a factor that is like the ping, right? Like if the ping is slow, if the ping is bad, and even if you don't have much practice, if your opponents have bad ping and if you have a better ping, that is always an advantage, and which is kind of a very hard thing to solve, especially in this international stage. But still, we want to thank True Internationals next year as well, for setting this bridge against most nation, because this is what I think the mobile legend scene in the SCEA and same time India needs as well to finally come up for that international exposure. With that being said, it's gonna be 7Cs versus Philippines, Bhutan versus Philippines. But of course, if there is any kind of prediction whatsoever, it's surely gonna fall to the side of Philippines. But I have hope for 7Cs as well.
Yeah, I mean, 7C. They said they aren't prepared, but still, I'm rooting for them because sometimes even if you're not prepared, you can still perform your best. And that's what can happen with 7Cs as well here today. And as for Philippines, they've been preparing for months, so it's gonna be a tough competition for 7Cs as well, because you can't overlook the fact that the confidence in their eyes and the practice, and they've just been waiting for this moment, because since the announcement of True International came out months ago, most of the teams like Philippines, Indonesia, and other regions, they've been preparing for months. They've been shedding their blood, sweat, and tears for this tournament today, because they're getting an international stage where they can perform and showcase what they've got. And this is an opportunity which none of you want to miss. So you gotta do what you gotta do.
All right. I think Zephyr I'm pretty sure he was from Bhutan. That's why they are very much, they need something to kind of prepare for, especially a team against Philippines. On the other hand, friends, I guess they're kind of underestimating their opponents. They didn't even know, Sashi said there. So I don't know. Maybe hopefully Bhutan also, the fruits of their labor can bloom in this match here. But other than that, I'm pretty sure our players have led the Discord as well, and they're ready to go into the drafting phase, into the in-game session here. But before that, once we've casted season 1 as well, it was just you and me, man. And then we're finally back here. Season 1 is an absolute massacre. Still, Philippines still come out very nice. The same as Indonesia as well, but the Indian team, I don't know about our boys here, but this time around we do have LCF and we do have Peak to Plummet. Was unfortunate that Tartars didn't play, because there was our best trump card, I should say, for India. But for now, it's gonna be LCF and Peak to Plummet. So what do you have for our boys here? What are your expectations?
I mean, it's been it's been a long journey for these teams like Peak to Plummet and LCF, right? Lakshmi Chitfan.
Yeah.
And these are the Indian teams which are representing India. And as far as I'm concerned, I feel like they've not been exposed at any kind of international level, because they've not played with other regions that much. They've participated in a lot of tournaments that's going on in India. And they've participated in a lot of big tournaments, and recently the biggest one was definitely the WFA, which featured Hoon, featured Ghost to General DJY, and it came with a bit of a controversy as well. But leaving that aside, I feel like when it comes to the international level, India still has a lot to learn. And this is the perfect stage for them where they can learn, because this is True Internationals, and now is your time to face off against teams from so many regions. And this time, compared to season 1, there are so many regions. We have Laos, Indonesia, Philippines, and whatnot, right? So it is going to be a mixture of all these regions, so they're going to be playing up against one another. So this is a good exposure for our boys LCF and Peak to Plummet, I say. And they can learn a lot from this. And competitive wise, I feel like it's gonna be a rough competition for India, to pull this tournament off. But let me not say much for now, because it's still pretty unpredictable because it's just the Swiss stage that we're in right now, right?
Yeah, still the Switch states. And the format goes like if you want to make to the playoffs, you gotta get 3 wins. But in terms of elimination wise, if you lose 3, you are completely out of the tournament and out of the Swiss stage as well. So already yesterday we already have like 3 losses on each teams on the other side, but also have 3 wins on most of like the tournaments, like the matches. But here we are, finally in the drafting phase here, and that's of course, if I guessed it right, is it Zephyr? Is it Zephyr here onto the other side, the 7 Seas? Not actually seeing his name there, so maybe it's like the sub that took the interview, but on the side of the Philippines over here though, friends, X and 8IV. They're banning, look at the ban so far, Once. Like, Bhutan came up with the bans, of course, the classic ban that is gonna be the Zetian, because she just a newly released hero, understandable. Roger, of course, we've seen him a lot in the jungle actually. Yeah, actually yesterday, we got to see like 3 jungle cores, I'm pretty sure, on the jungle with the Roger, and of course the roam on a Bakshi as well. But 7 Seas, they're gonna play it really safe. They're gonna pick up the Badang. So what are your guesses onto the side of Philippine Drafter?
I feel like since they've picked up the Badang, they can still pick a lot of heroes because the meta is still. Oh my god, just as I was gonna talk about the Hayabusa, because yesterday the Hayabusa was the one who was totally dominating the game, and I was just gonna say they could opt for a Hayabusa pick here, for the jungle, and boy, here comes the Hayabusa. On top of that, it is gonna be a Selena as well, so the pick is looking pretty solid here.
Yeah, picks are very solid. Yes, yesterday it was the Philippine team that pick up that Hayabusa, that make the debut of the Hayabusa in this tournament. And yes, it was they pick up that Hayabusa. I'm pretty sure it was Satoru, Quantum Satoru there, and they actually got a 0 death Hayabusa. The Hayabusa is kind of nerd this time. Can actually apply a lot of stacks with the Phantom Shuriken, because before, if you hit 3 of your Phantom Shurikens, that you can have like 3 stacks, but it's only going to be 1 this time. That's like a little bit of a chunk tuned down, but still, that guy just went through against all odds and just get the MVP for himself, just the power that he showed with the Hayabusa. So seems like Philippines, they are still very comfortable with these nerfed heroes. And look at the side of 7 Seas though, they're finally pulling up the Lapu Lapu, of course, the very buffed Lapu Lapu, because we've been seeing this in a lot of Indian tournaments.
Yep. I mean, definitely a lot of powerhouses onto the side of Bhutan, because wow, 7 Seas here, and they're coming up with a lot of front lines, as well as a backup plan for the late game, because they have secured a Moskov as well, and a Moskov is the marksman, which is really meta as well, because he's got a lot of kits. He has mobility, he has stun, he has teleportation. If he can hit the SOD, he can teleport across the map and provide assistance for his team. So that is a pretty good pick for a marksman, because I don't feel like there are many marksmen that can counter the Moskov. Maybe like marksmen with high burst in the early game can overwhelm him, but in the late game he is an attack speed marksman, so he's gonna hurt a lot. But boy, man, just talking about the Moskov and how much of a good kid he has. Here comes our boy Jawhead. Man, he is gonna ejector the hell out of that Moskov, because once he is locked with that ultimate, he's just gonna go dive in and try to pull out that Moskov from the safe zone with his ejector and throw it towards his teammates so they can try to get a kill or something.
I'm actually very wrong when it comes to prediction there, because I thought Zephyr was on the side of Bhutan, but no, it's the side of Philippines here, and it seems like maybe he's gonna go in the jungle, but still, as drafting goes, players can still switch their their roles. But as of now, we are in the second half of the ban, and we are seeing a CC ban out of the question here. CC also, I'm pretty sure she was kind of tuned down here, not much. But maybe against a Lapu, you can kind of win it out. So they are just, looking for the opportunity to not get any counter picks to the other side. But once again, here comes the joy, of course, because 7 Seas, they haven't picked their jungler, their core. and I'm pretty sure either their mid laner and also their core. So it seems like it's gonna be a very, those role-oriented bans on the side of Philippines.
Definitely, and yeah, talking about the picks and bans, we are already into the second drafting phase. So this time around, I feel like there's definitely gonna be a lot of roam bans as well as jungler bans from the side of Indonesia because Bhutan have not picked their jungle yet as well as their mage, so they're probably gonna be looking to ban out those heroes there. And as for Bhutan, they're gonna be probably gonna do the same. I feel like this Jawhead could probably be a roam Jawhead because I don't feel like he can face off against a Lapu Lapu. That's gonna be really overwhelming. And yeah, Just-
my goodness, here once. We are seeing a very EXP oriented ban towards the side of Bhutan, and like I've casted yesterday with Sar Ash, and he did tell me that it's usually going to be the rotation onto the EXP because that side is where the turtles spawn, and after you finally gank one lane, the turtle is like about to spawn until you get back your purple buff, rebuff yourself. So it seems like Bhutan are quite aware of that. That's why they want something to not counter their Lapu here. They want the pure dominance of the EXP because if the EXP wins, you can rotate and hopefully catch somebody off guard and also win the lanes when it comes to ambushes.
wow, nice analysis there, Bolty, because that's actually really true. Because if the EXP is winning,
The choice
you
is
can
mine.
easily provide rotation around the map, and that is what is needed. Ganking is really, really important, and when there's EXP pressure, your team will have a lot of easier time competing for those objectives, such as the turtles and Lord. But boy, look at Bhutan. They're actually going for a lot of early game heroes here. They've picked up the Fredrin, which is pretty good against the Hayabusa because he is a tank, so the Hayabusa won't be much of a problem if the Fredrin has enough HP. As well as the Xavier on the mid lane here from the side of Bhutan. I feel like this Xavier, it's a 50-50 pick here because it's Xavier that we're talking about, and he has no dash skill that can help him, escape from the Hayabusa except the flicker. So if he's got onto that quad shadow, it is going to be really tough for this Xavier to actually survive the Ogi kill and the quad shadow there. So he has to be really careful where he's going to go around the map because the Hayabusa could be camping at any part of the map, any bush, just looking for that Xavier so he can, snowball in the early game. And yeah, talking about friends here, look at them. They have even picked up Irithel, which is a pretty good pick in my opinion because yeah, it is Irithel. You can hit and run, and that is a really big advantage because against heroes like Lapu Lapu, that can stun you, that can obliterate you, being able to hit and move, it is going to be really good for you because not only can she hit and move, she also have the crossbow. So that is going to be really good for her because that provides her extra mobility as well. And Lapu Lapu won't be able to predict where the Irithel is going to be walking because she can, guide him really well with her kiting skills as well.
Yeah, that is very, very true. Nice analysis there once. Very much appreciated, but it seems like we're going to be loading to the Land of Dawn here with those visual once again. W management, W graphics, because this is the True International Season 2 and day number 2 for the Swiss brackets, the Swiss stage, up against Bhutan, the 7 Seas, the Seas of Bhutan versus against the Philippine Pride here, Friends X N8IV. And looking for that, both of the teams are gonna go for their jungle skirmish. It's gonna be a utility versus an assassin jungle.
Yeah, talking about the utility versus the assassin jungle, I feel like the assassins in the current meta, they do have the upper hand. But then again, it is a Fredrin that we're talking about, so he is a tank and he's always going to be in the front. And securing those objectives is going to be much easier because he's a punching bag, he can soak damage as well. So, yeah, for now, it's just gonna be a pretty, a pretty silent game, I'd say, because they're just gonna be farming safe, trying to get that level 4, especially the EXP, and probably look for rotation. But on the mid side, I see some skirmish going on, just a little bit of poke here and there.
Yeah, that middle skirmish, of course, just to clear the lanes. But at the same time, if you are on the heads of like a Selena pick, you gotta be looking for those abyssal arrows to finally, pick off somebody. Also get that sweet first blood on your side. But for now, it seems like Philippines are playing, the safer road. But it seems like that Hayabusa also is looking for the jungle invade to the side of the Seven Seas. But in terms of EXP laning wise, the Lapu is losing against that Arlott.
Oh yeah, the Owl. Oh, look at that on the mid side though. It seems like the Hayabusa there. He's just trying to look for that Xavier, but it seems like the Badang there just in time to protect him from that quad shadow. And yeah, it's just gonna be a failed gang. Oh, look at the mid side, Balti.
Yeah, that mid was kind of like a skirmish on the mid. Seems like that Fedrin also trying to use that Brave's assault to kind of catch somebody, but this is going to be the turtle skirmish right here. Seems like the bravest fighter at the same time, the dawning light, gonna go out there being spent, but it's just gonna be Mr. Super Doza gonna be picking up the first kill to the side of Philippines, and that is an EXP loss to the side. But still, don't forget the Fedrin because he's looking for the Placer Trap. But Tashi Zing gonna be sniping down with that SOD as well. But at the same time, it's gonna be 3 deaths to the side of Bhutan as they lost the turtle fight. But in terms of sniping wise, that Moskov SOD was on point.
Oh man, that was a huge loss to the side of Bhutan. They even lost the turtle. They lost a lot of members. So a really disadvantageous start coming up from their side, and boy, they really need to watch out for the EXP, which is the Arlott, because that guy can be really dangerous. So yeah, they need to look out for that. But it seems like there's there's the Jawhead, man. This guy, Dogja, he's just trying to provide some vision there for the team, but he was not aware of the Badang which was hiding there. So it's probably a failed gang for the side of Philippines for now.
Yep, a very failed game for now, but they are still in the lead as well. Seems like they're already reaching that 10k gold on their hands. 3 kills on their hands as well. But in terms of jungle skirmishes here, it's looking like we're going to be getting another gank on the bot side. Maybe Super Doza here looking for an angle to finally, connect that Quad Shadow. Here comes the Quad Shadow as well. As long as the Shadow kill and takes the kill on Tashi's lane as he falls right there. And there we go. There is another gold lane down to the hands of Seven Seas.
Ooh, Super Doza, they're already with 2 kills in the first 4 minutes of the game, which is pretty good. And if he can... Oh, Balti, look at the mid lane there. We just missed that fight there. It seems like the Philippines are on a total rampage there. They've already secured 5 kills. And it seems like even the Iritel is actually bullying the Moskov, which is our guy, Tashi. And he's having a hard time in that goal lane.
Absolutely, or is it just my eyes? But if you see that itemization there, I didn't see the Hayabusa on any boots. But here comes another Quad Shadow once again with that, kill. And yes, they take out Bruno for now. And no jungler to the side of Seven Seas once again as the turtle is up. The pure dominance of Philippines has shown itself once again. And they are gonna take this purple buff for themselves and looking for the turtle soup, or maybe not. They go for a little bit of a tickle there, but it's just a Lapu couldn't do much. The dawning light to not actually hit anybody could be used to steal the turtle, but for now, Super Doza is gonna walk away with that free turtle, and maybe more is gonna be happening here as that. Dawning Light didn't connect with anything. It's gonna be bot side secret at the same time that Badang will fall to the hands of Philippines, and this is gonna be another kill for Philippines as Zephyr will be the one to snatch him away, and that is gonna be a 3-1 trade on both sides, all in favor to the motherland, Philippines.
Man, Philippines are just definitely on the higher advantage here because they have an assassin on their team, and it makes killing so much easier when it comes to the goal lane and the mid lane, because mages and marksmen are vulnerable to the assassins in the early phases of the game. And this is where the advantage comes, when you have an assassin, because utility, man, it's a Fredrin. You can't kill. You need to stack the stacks for the bonk and even the bonk won't be enough if you're underfed.
Yeah.
And as for his team, we're talking about a Xavier and a Moscow Bolty, but then look at the name.
Here comes a position fisting wise, but no, too much in the crevices of Philippines that Badang, Strawberry Sun, this gets taken out instantly. It's only a matter of fact that Bhutan have to avoid fights for now because they're very behind on the gold as well.
Yep, they're so behind. They're like 4K goal behind compared to Philippines. And man, the amount of fights they're initiating is crazy because Strawberry, man, he needs to take a chill pill because he's been engaging way too much. But oh, Bolty, look at that!
Oh, Shadow, watch Shadow misses that appraiser's wrapped by Bruno, still walks away with the kill, but not enough really because that shutdown gonna go to that Super Donza there, and it's gonna be Durno getting the kill. A little bit of bounty to the hands of 7Cs here because another fight in the mid side there. Flicker pops out by Strawberry because if you lost your member there, it could have been a very, very dire one. Here comes the Abyssal Arrow once again. Here comes the final slash to just put and grab that Xavier into the spot where the Selena can snatch him as well. But look at that steal from the Abyssal Arrow. Zephyr, that was precise illegal.
Oh my god, the way he predicted that Abyssal Arrow and just on time it hit the purple buff. That was absolute gold. And just look at them. He's forcing so many kills. Oh.
Once again, they're gonna go for more, and Zephyr will be the one to thirst down as well. Bhutan are suffering heavy losses because the heavy crossbow is gonna be turning to his ties to the hands of the Seas, but that's gonna be Hayabusa wasting the ult, but not quite getting a kill. But to make somebody, chunk off their HP, lose their resources, gonna be that's a miss. Fist crack once again about side. Look at the sidestepping, the micro play coming in from Secret as well. Here comes Tashi into the midst of it. It seems like he's gonna get caught. The Zephyr's Abyssal Arrow, and yes, 2 will fall there on the bot side with Philippines just toying over 7Cs now.
Oh my god, the Abyssal Arrow, man. It is just way too precise. Every time, my eyes are on the Selena. This guy, Zephyr, he is just on point with those arrows. And once again, Bolty, just look at that.
Whoa. If it weren't for those dashes, SOD to miss entirety. Being targeted towards Natalia. Here comes another shadow kill towards Trex there, and it's gonna be Super Doza recalling and getting the hell out of there as well. But look at not Super, but Strawberry Sun here in the midst of it for now. There's a Dawning Light connecting on the mid side here though. Dongja, I think, is looking for an angle to kind of surprise element connect those ejector, but for now, Philippines are gonna let the Bhutan breed.
Wow, Philippines are already onto the lead by 9k goal, which is actually insane. And man, the heal ranking, if you check, it's actually our guy, Super Koza there on the Hayabusa. This guy, how does he have so much heal? I feel like that's definitely from a spell van and stuff. And yeah, so talking about Philippines though, they are just on a total rampage right now. They're not leaving anything to the side of Bhutan. They've taken each and every objective possible. They've taken down so many turrets. Only the inhibitors standing from the side of Bhutan. 7Cs, they can't seem to retaliate against against friends here because they're just way too behind. And man, I think like this is gonna be an easy lot to the side of Bhutan, to the side of Philippines as well. Because if you take a look at the items, Bolty, just look at, oh my god, that was almost a steal from our guy Xavier here. Oh my god, he almost got it, but not enough. The retry just hit on time there. Seems like I can't hear you, Bolty. Okay, it seems like our guy Bolty here, he's in a bit of a mic issue there, but yeah. And talking about the teams here, look at Philippines. They're actually on a total rampage. The Lord is marching down the bot lane, and only the out shield from the top and bot is standing, and it seems like on the mid side here there's a little bit of a chaos, but here comes the final slash, but not enough to catch anyone. But then again, here comes the Jawhead with the beautiful ejector, and just enough to catch Strawberry, and a beautiful kill to the side of Philippines once again. And it seems like even the inhibitor on the bot side will be going down with that Lord, and it is a total trade onto the side of Philippines here, because they did not lose any casualty and they got so many resources out of it.
Yeah, Juan. Sorry about that. I think I was muted here, but that is a continuation of the Shadow kill from Super Doza there. But, you know, Shadow kill cooldown is pretty low, so you can kind of like spam it most of the time to kind of bait out ultimates. That is how you usually play Hayabusa, right? Especially if you're gonna be sieging the inhibitors. It's best that you go in trying to get at least something that can, you know, like stop the lane clear of the opposing side. But for now, it's gonna be 319 on the leaderboard. The goal difference so much. What can Bhutan do to come back from this now?
I feel like the only thing they can do is rely on the Xavier and the Moskov, because these heroes are the only component. But here comes the fist break, and it's just catches them off guard. But no, it's got.
Maybe not. Somebody's in trouble there. Seems like Bruno also in trouble once again. But that's gonna be the shout of the Leo to get the kill. Tashi also falls in the process there. But for now, that Hayabusa going back with the Shadow. But for now, it's just gonna be they're gonna wait out for the Lord. But having to kill two members there is actually a very well way to kind of capitalize on items for Philippines.
Oh, definitely, and with two members down, it's gonna be a 3v5 here, so they really have to watch out. And boy, Bolty, look at the ejector, man! Oh my god.
Yeah, crazy ejectors coming up as well, but it seems like Secret will be trying to get that double over here. Mid lane inhibitor exposed, like you said, super minion incoming as well, and the Lord will be spawning in second, and he's been welcomed to the Land of Dawn. This time it's still not an enhanced Lord, but it's enough to do the job for Philippines, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, definitely. I mean, despite it not being enhanced, I feel like with this Lord they can actually end the game, because two members are already down. It's gonna be an easy Lord for them. And if they can maintain the position, guide Irithel, she can just guide from the back and maintain a safe position. She can just lock onto the crystal and look for an end game here. And on the other hand, we have Bhutan. It's gonna be really tough for them, to absorb the damage that's gonna be dish out from Philippines, because they're so fed at this point. They have to snowball right from the start, and boy, look at Strawberry. He is just way too squishy to absorb all that stuff.
And what can Bhutan do at this point? It seems like there's gonna be another initiation coming from the side of Philippines, and Tres bites the dust. Unstoppable for Secret there. Almost a Secret ball, but that's gonna be a shutdown running line coming in from Bhutan. The Xavier taking out Secret. But then again, they don't have Secret. They do have the Lord. At the same time, 4 people here. They're just gonna be bursting down. Bruno trying to do his best, but I'm pretty sure that Crystal Lock is gonna be available as well. And this is game number 1 to the hands of Philippines.
Oh my god, Bolty. Man, this is just crazy, right? That was a crazy game 1 from the side of Philippines there. They were on total domination, obliteration, and destruction. They were just, on a full rampage right off the early game. The way they snowballed with those, turtle, with those early game kills, they maintained that consistency up to the mid as well as the late game, and that's what ultimately led to their victorious triumph. And boy, on the other hand, Bhutan, their picks were, I'd say, pretty decent, They had a Delapu, they had a Fred, they had a Moskov, they had the Xavier. But then again, why pick a Xavier when there is a Moskov? Because you are a mage which is really vulnerable to assassins like Hayabusa, and you're just gonna be, feeding kills to a Hayabusa, and that's what we saw happen, because most of the times, the Xavier was really concerned whether the Hayabusa is just gonna come in and get him. And most of the times we did see that, the Hayabusa was actually looking for the Xavier. And talking about, the picks from the side of Bhutan, they had a Moskov as well. But, couldn't do much against an Irtel despite, playing safe in the early game because the gang that was coming up from the side of Philippines was just way too overwhelming. And the fact that, you have an assassin on your side, especially in the early phases of the game, it makes the pace of the game so much easier. Because with an assassin, you can just get in and out, out of the danger. You can go in, dive in, get a kill, easily get out with the quad shadow without losing any casualty. And the fact that they also had the R-Lord and the Jawhead was just a cherry on top of the cake, because the R-Lord, we've seen that guy, man, he was on point with the final slash and the flicker combo. That is like the hardest thing for me to master, like the angle of the final slash and to pair it with the flicker. I fail most of the times, but this guy, he did not fail to deliver. And Bolty, just look at the screen. It is, we're seeing our top players here. It seems like our guy here, I can't really see with my specs. There's like low power. So can you read it for me?
Yeah, but look at those. These are all members, I'm pretty sure, from Frenzy. Oh, actually, it says Arsenals right there. So I guess it kind of makes sense now that we can finally, say their names really quick. But Zephyr, on the other hand, you know how he stealing a purple buff with an Abyssal Arrow without the enhanced Abyssal Arrow, actually. Against a Fedrin is just criminal, I should say. So it just shows that Philippines do have that, that pure dominance to their hands. But to the side of Bhutan, I should say, is they're drafting, they are kind of like gambling on the... they don't exactly have, like anybody to complement their Fedrin. I mean, Fedrin, of course, it's a decent jungler, but if you're not pairing up with any kind of like a support, it kind of falls off because there's nobody to heal you, there's nobody to give you those, dashes. Matilda is also usually good, but right now in the current meta, a Fedrin and a Rafaela works out, and I don't think the Rafaela was banned out this game, so maybe if they can use that strat, it could be much more effective. But it seems like they are giving that very vulnerability kind of drafting here, because they do have that roaming, they do have the EXP. Actually, yeah, it's kind of like the Badang always losing, couldn't actually get to hit those fist cracks as well. We're seeing lots of misses. He even got a very, pretty sure, like a bad KDA because of that, but it could be a ping issue as well. But other than that, drafting against those kind of, aggressive play from Philippines, it's going to be very hard for Bhutan to come back. That's why they, this is the judgment of the final.
I mean, I definitely agree with what you've mostly said, because it could be the ping issue as well, because these are different regions, guys. And, we're playing in the tournament lobby, so to, get the standard ping, it's a little bit of a trouble as well, because not all of them, they can play on a stable ping. And, the fact that, Bhutan, they came without a practice. So I feel like that's pretty justifiable as well, because on the other hand, Philippines, as they've said, they've been preparing for months, and they are ready for this moment, and they were ready to own it. And that's what they did. They seized the moment, they got the game, and they owned it.
That's very much true. And it seems like, victory to the hands of Frenzy Arsenal, I'm pretty sure. Secret will be the one to grab that MVP for himself as an Irithel. Wow, Irithel is still in the meta, I think, and still rocking in the meta. Actually, one of the best marksmen out there. And then, But anyways, guys, this is going to be game number 1. We're going to have a game number 2. Once and Bolty will still be back in the decks, though, so don't go anywhere. And this is the True International Season 2, sponsored by NextG, and we'll see you in the second match. Wow. Welcome back, folks. We're back to the True International Season 2. This is gonna be the match number 2 for tonight. That's match number 1 against Frenzy versus Seven Seas. It went like a massacre. So maybe this time around it's gonna be India versus Malaysia. We got India as Lakshmi Chitfund, and the side of Malaysia we got MSU Esports. I'm pretty sure the boys are ready for the interview section as well, so anytime we can move. But before that, Wanz is also back, looking a bit lost actually. He also had the time to change his attire? Wanz, what is going on? If you're asking about Malaysian team, I'm pretty sure MCU Esports, they are very well known in Malaysia as well. They do have Coach Raf at the same time. They are in like a 8-man roster in their lineup, so it's kind of interesting. But of course, on the side of LCF, our boys from India. I hope our boys are also ready. I'm pretty sure Coach Lentina has tricks up our sleeve as well. It's gonna be Coach Raf versus Coach Lentina on this battleground against India versus Malaysia. So without further ado, here we are in the interview. And first up, it's gonna be I'm pretty sure we're gonna be interviewing MSU Esports from Malaysia. How's it going, guys? Anybody gonna take the mic and introduce yourselves?
Hello.
All right. What's up, Jojo?
Yo. Anyways. What would y'all like to know anyways?
Oh, we want to know what your preparation for this match against India. Have you guys been, doing research, homework, or is it like we're gonna, chill back and just destroy people?
I'll be frank.
Yep.
We have not really searched into the enemies at all whatsoever, honestly. But we do know that everyone is tough here, so we're gonna give our best overall, and hopefully we all have a great match together. Yeah.
True sportsmanship right there. Respect. What about the other members? Do you guys have anything to say to your opponents before we head to LCF interview? I think Mika on the mic there. Yeah. Anything you want to say, man?
I want to say good luck and have fun to our opponent. So let's go, we fight. Let's go!
Nice. I like that energy. Malaysia, right there. MSU Esports, ladies and gentlemen. And here we are, Stark. Man, it's been a long time. Haven't seen you there. And anyways, man, how is the preparation going on against Malaysia? Have you guys come up with some sort of draft? I won't be, spilling any draft, but in terms of that, so overall, what do you guys want to say to Malaysia?
Yeah, so good evening. My name is Stark Z, and I'm from Team LCF and the co-leader of our team. So to be really frank, we haven't really checked out the opponents yet. So let's see what our practice leads us to.
All right, looking good. Anything you want to say to the opponent team before we head into the drafting?
Yeah, I'll just say all the best, and let's hope we win.
All right. Confidence. Love that as well. So that's it. That is LCF, ladies and gentlemen. There's also MSU Esports. Both of the teams, good sportsmanship. We'll see you guys in the battlefield. Good luck. There we go, Wanz. What do you think about that interview right there?
Despite them, not doing any kind of homework on one another, they can still put up a really good show. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to that.
Yep, we are both, and I hope for the audience as well. Looking forward to this match because finally we are seeing India coming up to represent our country for now. Because we're both from India, guys. Anyways, if you guys are, if we're not to the casting standard, yes, we're still growing, but hopefully we can make you guys proud maybe in the future or whatsoever. But right now, we're thinking about LCF, and it's gonna be MSU Esports. Malaysia, on the other hand. They do have a well-organized team as well. They do have a coach. They do have a team manager as well. And they are, not to mention, 4 members. So in terms of substitution-wise, they're always going to have their back. So once, I'm going to say, what are your expectations for Malaysian teams?
I mean, if you're asking my expectation from Malaysian teams, I'm not really sure because I've not witnessed this team. So they are a foreign team to me as well. But yeah, talking about Malaysia is like one of those countries, that's really popular when it comes to Mobile Legends, and they're like a good country even in the sport community. They can they're a strong country. So for India to face off against them, I feel like they will put up a pretty tough challenge for India because India, right? We're talking about LCF, and they're currently not the best team. The best team would definitely be Tatras and ABM. ABM though, still a little with the thing which went on. But okay, do not give me that look because oh my god, you're gonna make me shit my pants. But yeah, whatsoever. Okay, so I feel like LCF can still put up a pretty good competition against the Malaysian team as well because they are a big team from India as well, and they have a big fan base. They have a lot of supporters. So good luck to both of these teams.
Yeah, I'm actually excited for LCF to play as well. We do have people, actually OG members, during those days in India when Mobile Legends was still banned, but right now it's MOBA Legend 5v5. Finally come back for India through Vista by Moonton. But during that time, there was Stark, there was Asuna as well, I'm pretty sure. And like we already interviewed, that was Stark on the pure flesh right there. Just in front of our eyes. So they were pretty good. I'm pretty sure Stark was the jungler. And I'm pretty sure he's going to continue to be a jungler for LCF. Asuna, on the other hand, is going to be on the mid lane. Pretty sure goes in very, very clutch against the best team in India, of course. That's going to be Tartarus, Arguably, against Eden as well. Performed pretty well, I should say. So for now, though, MSU Esports, I'm hoping, they did say we didn't do our research much because our team is actually not like a very big team, right? Like not a big team for there to do some research, but both teams, I hope, they just don't underestimate each other. That's what I want to say. Once, what about you?
I definitely agree with you because you should not underestimate one another, and just go with your sportsmanship and just put up a fair and square game. So talking about the teams, I feel like they're preparing to get into the draft, so we'll be into the draft anytime soon. So what do you think about it? Like, are you rooting for any specific team, or you're just gonna stay neutral?
Honestly, as Indian casters, of course, we got to be rooting for our nation as well. But despite from that, I will tell you about what India actually likes to play in this current meta, and especially, I would say India. I mean, Xborg is back in the meta. When Xborg was like the top pick for a jungler, India was always there to pick one. And I'm pretty sure that's going to continue because Stark TG is also pretty good onto the Xborg. I still remember those times when I watched his live stream. He was always spamming Xborg in the jungle there with his Bumblebee skin. That time was when Transformer was released and, a bunch of new Optimus Prime Bumblebee. So, other than that, though, I feel like if Xborg meta is back, they could, opt for that Xborg jungler here if there is a utility pick to the side of Malaysia, because true damage is a pure counter to utility, I should say. Not assassin though, but we've seen quite the opposite against last match because the Hayabusas is completely outshines Bhutan with that by Philippines. So right now though, once what do you think our Indian boys are gonna cook up in the draft?
Well, I feel like talking about the Indian teams, I feel like they're gonna come up with a pretty standard draft because Indians, they mostly like to stick to the meta, and so they're probably gonna be looking out for those meta bans and meta picks. But if not, they might cook up their own kind of a draft, and that is something which I'm really a big fan of because I always love to see a unique draft, which is not popular, not in the meta, but still somehow players, they manage to pull it off. So that kind of a draft, I'm a really big fan of those kind of drafts.
Yep, of course, something to be fan of, right? But as of now though, Lakshmi Chickfun, MSU, well, maybe for the past tournaments that we've seen in India, especially in the the Mythic Showdown, we have seen most of the teams using Roger as well. Indian teams also like to stick with the meta as well. But what I actually love about the Indian teams, even though some of the Procaster, they did say India is a bit behind on the meta, but I will only give credit to our players for adapting to certain metas like quickly. And when I say quick, is as quickly as adapting to your opponent's drafting in match. Because if you lose the first game, most teams they like to stay until their current strategy works. But as for India, they like to switch up their drafting. If it doesn't work once, we're gonna change it straight away. That is all I can say to the side of India. But as of MSU, I'm pretty sure they're gonna be very flexible as well because they have a coach in the background. They have a set of roster of players as well. They do have managers as well. So this is a very, very bona fide team.
Oh, definitely, with all the management, all the coach out there in the back, it is gonna be a mind game because the coaches are just gonna scratch their mind and pick up something with the draft as well. So that is what I'm pretty much looking forward to because these teams, they have coaches, right? So the coaches are gonna be battling one another in this game, and man, I just love it when teams, they have coaches and they're like receiving guidance and they're cooking up a good draft.
Yeah, hopefully. But anytime now, it seems like there's a ping test going on because we want to make sure there is fairness in every particular matches that have been played. We don't want some sort of technical issues on the end. If both the teams are satisfied with their ping, they'll finally go for the clash. Gonna go for either a win or lose in the Swiss bracket stage. And like we said, guys, the Swiss bracket stage still in the True International Season 2. So teams, we got like a lot of team actually. Yesterday we are finally done, I'm pretty sure, with a bunch of teams. There's like 8 teams facing out, but this is the other rest of the 8 teams before they move to the upper bracket or the lower bracket, the 1 win bracket or the one lose bracket. That's how the Swiss bracket is gonna go. But until then, if you get 3 losses, you're finally eliminated. You won't be able to make to the playoffs. You're gonna have that virtual airport kind of feel. But as of the winners, though, they're gonna be winning with 3 consecutive wins. They're going to be moving to the playoffs, and hopefully closely the playoffs, on the other hand, it's going to go from the quarters to the semis to the grand finals. And yes, the grand final, of course, are going to be having that sweet prize pool sponsored by our dear sponsor NextG. So right now, until then though, waiting for the draft to happen still, and any moment the drafting will happen. But as of now, yesterday though, or maybe we can talk about the previous match a little bit more, right? Once, like we said, the Fredrin didn't quite work out for the side of 7 Seas. There's so much gap open to the side of 7 Seas that the Philippines saw, and they take that advantage over 7 Seas.
I mean, I definitely agree with you because Philippines, right? They were just on absolute domination right off the bat. We see that they had picked the Hayabusa, they had picked the Iratel, as well as the Johan. And man, these are like really solid picks because the Johan is literally unstoppable. once he has locked his ultimate. And you know, the way he was going in, using the ejector, and then just giving sweet kills to the side of his teammate was absolute gold. And the fact that they also had an Arlott, which is recently buffed, and he's pretty solid. He even defeated the Lapu Lapu when it comes to the laning phase. And man, to face off against a Lapu, it's really hard. But then again, the Arlott guy just made it happen. And man, I was a really big fan of those final slash plus the flick combo, which was executed beautifully from the side of Philippines. And their team coordination, micro and macro overall was absolutely great. And as for Bhutan, I feel like there was a little bit of disadvantage. Their disadvantage is from the draft. And man, Bolty, look at that. Just as we're talking about the draft, we are right into the draft here. We have MSU on the blue side and LCF on the red side.
Yeah.
Oh, no, it's actually LCF.
Yeah, LCF.
Yeah, and MSU on the red side.
Yep, MSU gonna be that red, and it's gonna be LCF as the blue. And both of the teams do have coaches. Coach Lentina versus Coach Raph, like we've said. Lakshmi Chitfan already looking for the standard bans. Of course, it's gonna be the Fanny because the Fanny got the buff with the energy as well. At the same time, the Baxia, you can't open the Baxia. It's like a pick or ban. Also, this time around, they are very cautious when it comes to Uranus, because Uranus right now is like, it's revamped and it's pretty. Don't give me that look once. It's pretty to a point that it can deal a lot of damage now. It's also a very good turret pusher if you're gonna be sustaining, and you can also hit the turret because your radiant stack. The more radiant stacks you have, the more damage is gonna get to your basic attacks. If you pair it up with a Thunder Belt, it actually hits like a small truck. But as on the side of MSU, they're having that Fedrin, Kimi, Yishin Shindo. Wow, that is actually a very interesting ban for the first. Yishin Shin. Sutsuzin won't be happy about this one.
Oh, definitely, he will definitely not be. I feel like Yi Sin-shin is a hero which is really underlooked. And with the recent revamp, I feel like his ultimate is so much better. He has an AoE ultimate with an AoE stun, so that's pretty good for an assassin, And the fact that he still has his global vision exposure against the team, against the enemies, so it's pretty good for the side of his revamp. And the fact that the Yi Sin-shin is doing so good in the meta, it's just speaks volume. And yeah, with that we see that LCF, they're already coming up with 3 sweet picks, which is gonna be the Farsa with the long range zoning, with the Fed Airstrike, and it is gonna be the Granger as well with a lot of poking skills, as well as the Dead Sonata for the high range poke. And to top it off, they have a Phoveus on their side, which is gonna be a pretty good front line for the side of LCF as well, with the Infernal Pursuit for the Phoveus to just go on and sustain and be the punching bag for the side of LCF. But then again, onto the side of MSU, we see a Zishan pick, which is pretty surprising. I feel like Zishan, she is a newly added mage, but she's not that broken, because if you talk about her skill sets, she's a pretty vulnerable mage because she does not have any kind of mobility like most mages, of course. But then again, she does not have a CC skill, which can stun the enemies. When it comes to her kit, the only stun she has is her global ultimate, and you won't even hit that ultimate because it's so easy. You can just walk away from it, and that is like the old Yi Sin-shin ult. But then again, MSU with their picks here, and I feel like Bolty is having a little bit of an issue there, so he's just gonna be out for a bit. But yeah, it's just gonna be me once here onto the screen, and we're gonna be yapping a bit until we get back into the drafting phase. So yeah, talking. Oh, there you go, Bolty. I thought you were gone.
Oh, there's a little bit of technical issue there. Trying to fix it up. Maybe the Wi-Fi just broke, but what just happened? Where did draft go?
Oh, it seems like we're just hanging away from the draft for a bit. LCF, though, on the other hand, they've picked, they've picked the Farsa, they've picked Granger, as well as the Phobius. On the other hand, MSU, they've picked Zishan. If I'm not wrong, I saw it catch up. The picks from the side of MSU is looking pretty interesting, and this is what I'm looking forward to. This Kaja, man, we don't really see our electric chicken guy, right? And I feel like this is going to be really interesting because he has suppression, and that suppression can be a little troublesome for Phobius when he dives in, with the Inferno Pursuit.
Yeah, that suppression to stop the Infernal Pursuit from pursuing your team to the demise. But did I just hear a Zetian onto the other side of MSU Esports?
Yeah, you definitely heard the Zishan, yeah.
All right. Okay. It seems like LCF they don't really see Zetian as a threat right now. Of course, he's a new hero, but as a new hero, I wouldn't say it's completely broken. It's more like very balanced because he's not a burst hero. Okay. Phoenix Strike, Phoenix Descent as well. Especially Phoenix Descent. It's more like a utility slow down the opponents. And if paired up with, it's only effective, I just say, if you paired up with an Ice Queen Wand. So a Z10 is basically like a utility, kind of a Zushin plus a Valir type of utility mage. It does have that, Fury of the Phoenix that is very useful, 0.5 seconds, along with like 40% movement speed boost to your teammates as well. So yes. Other than that, the only burst mechanic that you can save to a Zetian is gonna be the third strike of that Phoenix Strike, and it's not very consistent, I should say, though.
Yeah. I mean, if you miss to hit the Phoenix Strike, you're not gonna get any kind of damage onto the enemy.
Yeah.
And talking about the Zishan, I really agree with you because as you said, it's like a utility. But in my opinion, I feel like she's more of a support mage that does not have the best TC, neither the best burst. But then again, she can be really annoying with her poke. And the fact that her passive, it has a a knockback effect, can effectively knock back assassins that can dive onto her. But then again, most of the assassins can still pretty get close to her because the cooldown of her passive is just way too long. And assassins, they have skills, man. They have short cooldown skills. They can beat that passive out and try again next time. So I feel like if LCF here, they come up with an assassin pick, it's gonna be really good for them, to pick up the mage there.
Yeah, they are really looking like they're gonna be focusing on to the gold lane ban now. They take out that Irritel because they don't want a straight up counter for the Granger. Of course, a Granger is very weak against an Irritel in terms of that. So right now though, here comes the ban, but I'm not seeing a Zetian this time. Maybe the Zetian was the problem, that's why we got a reset in the draft.
Oh yeah, I feel like that was the issue there.
Yeah,
because I did seize the Shan there, but turns out it is a Matilda. And Balti, look at that. It is a Matilda, a Kaja, and a Lapu Lapu. So is it gonna be a Matilda room or a Matilda mid? Because I'm not really sure with the Kaja pick. I feel like this Kaja could definitely be a room here.
yeah. But honestly, I don't think a Kaja roam would be quite effective because Matilda, she has better mobility than a Kaja, right? She has the guiding winds. And the Matilda is played best when she's on the roam, I should say. Maybe the mid lane also, she does have the damage with the Soul Bloom. But yeah, maybe, yeah, you're right. Maybe on the roam it could go, but maybe a Kaja could also go in the mid because when it comes to magic damage, I feel like the Kaja is more oh, never mind. You just closed me off there, MSU. Very interesting coming in from Malaysia here. The Kagura debuted actually here. Woo! What do you think? I know that the Kagura was buff, right? But pulling this out right here, maybe for the far side could be good because the range with the Yin, the same umbrella, is crazy. You just when you think that you're not gonna get bursted down, the umbrella ultimate Yin Yang overturn just flies in, grabs you in, sucks you in, and then kaboom, you're gone out of the map. And in terms of that, maybe this is a very interesting draft to the side of Malaysia.
Wow, man. I'm totally down for this kind of a drafting.
Yeah.
as I mentioned, they stick to the meta. And boy, the Malaysian team on the other side, they have the Aurora, they have the Matilda, a Kaja, and a Lapu. I am loving this.
Oh boy.
Dessert for me, Bolty. I've not even had my dinner yet, and this is already a platter of dessert for me. Because man, I love the picks that is coming up from the side of MSU. And to top it off, as the last pick, we have picked away our guy Moskov once again. And this time around, I'm really looking forward to this game because man, the draft picks, the bans, just way too mesmerizing to look at. And man, as you've been yapping a lot about export.
Yep.
You know, LCF with the export, and here comes our boy export into the draft of LCF. On top of that, even a Khalid. I feel like this is a highly a Khalid room. So definitely a export jungle, as you've mentioned.
Yeah, but especially when we're talking about Indian picks, favoritism picks here, it's always going to be the export. And we're talking about Serar Moon here, and I've seen Serar Moon play a lot of export in the tournaments. He likes to make it a comfort pick on his side because the export, you can't actually kind of go wrong with an export pick because he can deal damage. He have 4 lives when you pick up that immortality. So in terms of like safeness against an MSU, LCF are also playing really safe. This is like a very standard pick, except for the Khalid. Not sure about the Khalid roam right there, but here we are in the land of Dawn. It is ready. The stage is set. India makes its debut against Malaysia in the True International Season 2. And the game will start. But as of the initiation, we are seeing an off-screen gank on the mid side here. Wait. Quite a bold invasion coming in from LCF. They were able to take out that red on the hands of MSU. Malaysia lost their red in this battle here. And you know, Serar Moon with a comfort pick of the export. It's very safe for the export to kind of invade, and yes, they were rewarded with that invasion. Nobody gets taken out in the process right there. But as you have said, the Kaja pick, it's a tribute to Kyrie's, Kyrie even used that Kaja jungle here, so I'm pretty sure Malaysia are respecting that. Oh, it seems like Asuna gonna go with that feather airstrike. Here comes the pure pressurization from Anti. Anti gets caught in the Divine Judgment. Yes, he'll be, completely punished for going way too deep. And it's gonna be Baby on the other hand to take that kill. First blood to the hands of Malaysia. Quite an aggressive play from LCF, so they kind of traded out with a first blood. Look at that, 1v1 top 10 anime battles on the top lane here. It seems like Fars also come here, and just when Anti saw Fars, he just decided to back off because he can get taken out because the Divine Judgment also is up there for the using. But as of now, topside still, Vegeta is in trouble. Anti is looking very healthy with that. Here comes the fight of the EXP laners. Inferno Pursuit going to be going there, not much because we're seeing Rudeus on the other hand going for that, but oh no! How did Vegeta win against NT in the top lane? But there's more in the fight here, folks. But then again, I don't know who got that retribution, but I'm pretty sure Malaysia secured that purple. Oh, here comes that SOD as well. Sarar Moon secures that retribution. India gets their first, actually second retribution against Malaysia over here. Here comes the Raging Sandstorm by Rudeus. But lots of happening in the battlefield. Nobody gets traded out yet. Baby is also going to be the one to use that guiding wings to get some people out of the fray here. Seems like NT is going to use that to his advantage. Takes out the jungler of Malaysia. And also Vegeta in trouble. Rudeus is going to go for that, sand slap. And they get it. And it's going to be a turtle all to the favor of the side of LCF because they get 2 out of that. Or maybe an airborne? Maybe airborne. Oh, look at Stark TZ snipe across the map. That Sonata chance for MSU Esports right there. But here's going to be a little bit of a instant replay. I think once your voice is not coming out on the stream, maybe you use the Video Ninja instead. If you could use the Discord, that'd be nice. Yeah, the instant replay was actually crazy, but this time LCF capitalized a lot. They could capitalize a lot on that fight because they got very, good initiative. They do get the turn, they do get the 2 kills as well, but they have to put up that momentum. They try to shut down Vegeta, and yes, Saramo gets the kill, and here comes more because somebody's gonna get zapped on the top side here. It seems like that Kagura trying to play a bit, but Baby is gonna be one to get out of harm's way. Here comes the SOD, but it misses for now. That is 1-to-1 trade on both sides. But it seems like NT gonna go for more, but for now that is a complete full stop sign because that tier 1 is looking healthy, but maybe not. Rudeus still gonna be looking for that Thunderbolt stacks here. Fars is in trouble, gets taken out, but look at Stark TZ with a killing spree, finally having those, and look at Asuna with the bombardment, grabs the double kill for himself, and that is how LCF capitalized on everything, and also a turtle on their hands, I believe.
Oh my god, LCF are actually pretty, they're actually doing really good. And the fact that, they've managed to maintain their momentum despite losing a few kills in the early game. It's quite good. They have, caught up with MSU, and now they're already on the lead by around 3k goal lead, which is pretty good for them. And the fact that, they've been they're totally fixated on the objective, but then again, just look at the Fed airstrike on our guy Barry there on the Matilda.
Yeah, the fair airstrike for now. Asuna has to hold on those airstrikes for now because you gotta save it for those crucial fights when you can bombard MSU Esports on the other hand. But it seems like Vegeta also are looking for something that is a tier 2 down on the bot side. Stark is the one to get it. That's a lot of, goal to the side of Lakshmi Chitfund right now. Here comes the bravest fighter by Vegeta as well, the Flicker, Landshaker. Here comes the Raging Slash to take out Stark TZ. Sarar Moon also had to pop out that last Insanity, but it has to go bad because there's not much they can do. LCF have to back. On the other hand, MSU on the top side here, on the Moskov, grabbing that first tier 1 on the top side here. SOD misses once again, but here comes more. Sarvarmon in trouble, I should say, but it seems like, oh, never mind, who's getting caught in the Divine Judgment? That's gonna be NT, and Vegeta gets the kill. They lick it off that silver platter as Malaysia is back in the game.
Wow, Malaysia really, caught up with LCF with this beautiful kills that they got off against LCF here, because man, they were on the, they were on the verge of having a huge gap, but then again, they just managed to catch up. And just look at them, absolutely, obliterating LCF in this fight here, because man, they are getting all the kills without any casualty from their side. And the fact that the Kagura, is trying to burst out the Farsa there with the umbrella, trying to use those sneaky bushes. And that's all she can do. But then again, she baits out the Fed airstrike from Asuna beautifully, and now it seems like there's no Fed.
Oh, I think MSU make a little bit of a blunder here because they just left Vegeta right here. Vegeta does not have anything much. Stark TZ with a Sky Piercer, piercing it down. Double kill because Baby getting taken out by the Stark. Baby, oh, that's like we like to say, but for now, that's gonna be another dead for MSU because Serarmo will be the one to capitalize on that dead, and of course, Mika Boy on the other hand, he needs to back off because this Lord is definitely a free Lord to the side of LCF.
Oh, definitely a green light for them to just take this Lord right away because 3 members are down from the side of MSU. And if you take a look at the damage dealt ranking, it is our boy Lapu Lapu with the highest damage from the side of MSU. It seems like the marksman from the side of MSU, he does not have enough items just yet to dish out those damage with those skills because yeah, he's just way too behind compared to the Granger. But then again, onto the top side here, it seems like they're looking for some kind of a gang there. But yeah, they're just gonna wait out for the Lord because yeah, you need to push with the Lord. So if you die here, it's gonna go to the wave. But then again, it seems like MSU also, they're making their way to the Lord to clear it out, and the Granger there, he's all alone, so he better look out for MSU there.
Oh, there is a Divine Judgment towards Rudiaeus, but for now, he's gonna be surviving, but we won't last. Insanity bursted out, but nobody gets caught in the fray. But bot side though, that's gonna be a little bit of a diversion because this Lord is looking for the Divide and Conquer style, but it seems like Stark looking at the situation to kind of be poking them down with Death Sonata. If you're looking at the stacks of the Death Sonata though, how much will it be in this 10-minute mark?
Oh man, the way you know Stark TC, he's been farming on the Granger, I feel.
Oh, Baby in trouble. That is a flicker play, and also Stark TZ to turns down, and that is how the Death Sonata connects. Stark on the goal lane, actually looking ham for now. 613. In terms of itemization, I wonder how he is looking.
Yeah, we definitely need to take a look at the items because the damage that LCF are dealing is just way too insane. Just look at our guy, Stark TZ. He almost has a full bit, has a halberd, has a malefic roar, as well as a Sky Piercer and the Hunter Strike. Top it off with a roam.
Oh, bot inhibitor down for MSU Esports now. Anti once again in con Divine Judgment gets taken out by Stark on the other hand. Still takes Vegeta out. Gonna be more with those Rhapsody. He likes to wrap it all up here. It's gonna be Stark TZ there. Just getting a little bit too overconfident, but he knows that he got the items. He is in the lead to kind of poke them down. 7 kills for the Stark, and also it's gonna be 13-8 on the leaderboards.
Whoa, LCF are actually doing so good. Just look at them being so objective fixated here. They're just going for the turrets, they're going for the Lord Turtles, and picking up some kills here and there. They're not losing their momentum, they're not losing their sanity here, and they're just, you know, trying to play as good as possible. And, you know, the fact that their, you know, macro is so good, it's just, you know, it just goes to show how you know, how familiar they are with one another and how much they've synergized over these past years. And you know, the fact that Stark TZ, man, on the Granger, he has a 713 KDA. He's just gonna be dishing out so much damage with the stacks of that Capriccio, and it seems like the second Lord is already up, and you know, LCF are already positioning here. But then again, they're not aware that even MSU are right around the corner.
Yeah, MSU, they need to look for pickoffs because they are specializing with that pickoffs. Another SOD missed again. It's kind of sad because Stark TZ will be able to take out Baby once again. Unstoppable for the Stark. But that is no roamer, I should say, on the side of MSU, so they cannot contest this no more. They don't have much, but it seems like they still want to contest because maybe this Lord is only their saving grace. But like I've said, they're not looking for it anymore. That's why that Retribution gonna be taken to the hands of Serarmo, and LCF secures it. But for now, the only miracle that MSU can do is to pick off somebody before this Lord.
Yeah, definitely. They really need to pick up somebody here, and yeah, I feel like that is what they are lacking.
Oh.
Because they have a Kaja, despite the Divine Judgment, man. Oh, What's wrong?
Stark, don't do it. Don't fall to it. I feel like Stark is gonna get fall to this one, but maybe Stark forces out the flicker as well. Dodges with SOD, but don't forget Vegeta is in the pursuit. Takes out Stark TZ. Enough breathing time, but they can't forget the Lord is marching on the boss side as well. But it seems like they're still gonna be capitalizing this fight, and it's gonna be Anti getting taken out by Vegeta. Double kill for Vegeta indeed. But don't forget, because this Lord is looking healthy, but not for long. And once again, like we have said, if you pick off somebody, you can come back. And yes, they're gonna go for more. Vegeta uses the raging slashes. Gonna go for Serarmoon. Serarmoon is gonna lose his immortality, but still have true lives on the other process though. But Mika Boy on the other hand, gonna throw his spares towards LCF. But Serarmoon still live for some reason. Or maybe Mika Boy is on the other hand, taking the kill on Rudeus. SOD missed once again. If that hit, it could have been over for Serarmoon. But another breathing time being used to the side of MSU.
Man, we were just talking about how MSU is just gonna, look for somebody there and pick them off. But yeah, that's what exactly happened here. They got to pick up the member from the side of LCF. They got their hands on Stark TZ, and that is where, things started going downhill for LCF. They just kept losing member after member. And man, this final part where the SOD misses, that was, a bit of a sad moment there for the Moscow, because if he could have hit that, he could have easily killed Serarmoon. But yeah, Mark Boy there, he really needs to work on his SOD, because so far I did not see any SOD hitting any members of the LCF there.
Yep. If the SODs hit, could have been so much good for MSU, but maybe Mika Boy here needs to be a bit more accurate than that one. But it seems like 3-2 on top side here. Serarmoon knows where they are. He's not really going for the last insanity yet, because he does not have those immortality to back it up. But here comes the SOD hitting against Asuna though. But Mika Boy is aware that there is no teammates to fortify him, so he has to back out. He even forces out Asuna's feathered airstrike, so that is a W to the side of MSU.
Wow, that was a beautiful escape. The way he predicted the SOD, like hoping it would hit someone,
Yeah.
just prevented him from dying there, because there were already 4 people ganking the top lane, and the SOD just, makes a great way of escape for Makaboy there. And, he even baited out the Fed airstrike from Asuna, so which is really good for them. And with the Lord, spawning in about 3 seconds, they will be contesting there. And just look at them camping on that bush. Oh my
Once
god.
again, Raging Sandstorm connects with that Feather Airstrike backside, because Vegeta is kind of aware. But another SOD missed. Oh, never mind, not miss. It actually hits Asuna. If only Mika could come in and, just pin him straight away, that could have been a kill. But for now, Lakshmi Chitfun are not going to lose their mid lane. Other than that, this is going to be a Lord Dance. A Lord Skirmish, actually. Unless Fars has to pick up somebody once again, it's going to be really hard for MSU, because they are not well fortified in terms of tanking anything. But it's just that Lakshmi Chitfun has that initiation over here.
Ooh, I feel like they really need to look out for the Kaja, because, man, our boy Farts, he has the, Divine Judgment, and that can really pin down the export. So, yeah, they have to look out for the Lord, if they want to commit to it. And just look at
Mika Boy on the other hand has to force out that one. He still wants to look for Asuna. Asuna has to use that Winter Crown to save himself. But here comes Vegeta on the other hand, trying to secure the kill on Asuna. Here comes that Land Shaker to shake Asuna out of the Land of Dawn. And that is going to be more happening, because Vegeta on the other hand, double kill. Stark TZ will be the one to stop Vegeta's rampage for now. Maybe he is the Kakarot of this series, stopping Vegeta from analyzing too much in this match.
Oh my god, it was a 2-for-2 trade for both sides of the teams. But yeah, the main player from the side of MSU is missing, which is the marksman. So without the marksman, it's gonna be really tough to contest this, because you need the long range. Oh my god, just look at the Eagle there.
What just happened? MSU are looking for that Eagle play here, but Serarmoon on the other hand lose that Firaga armor. This is going to be a retreat battle between 2 of these giants right here. Here comes Mika Boy finally with that spear. Stark TZ goes down the drain, and Serarmoon also popped that immortality. This is going to be a loss for India, I'm pretty sure, because Serarmoon almost gets taken out, but not quite. Here comes that circling Eagle to make the final nail to the coffin as well. But also, don't forget, as 3 members already fall to the side of MSU. This is looking bad for India. Asuna still looking for that steal with a Feather Airstrike. Rudeus also taking his chances. But can they do it? but or are they gonna back it off?
The way Baby is just, providing the vision, the way he's zoning out Asuna, it seems like Asuna won't be able to steal it. And yeah, it is another Lord for the side of MSU. But then again, the pressure that is being created onto the side of MSU. The super minions are just always there into the base. 1 or 2 members are always recalling and defending the base. And that's what I've been noticing. Vegeta, he's just so busy clearing,
Oh, whoa, what is that combo? Kirito! That illegal straight up the save umbrella. What just happened there? Asuna gets absolutely deleted by that combo once.
Oh my god, that was a rookie mistake. You should have not went around a bush, especially when your map is entirely exposed, and that's what he got punished for. He got punished for going into the bush without checking it, and that's what MSU took advantage of. And it seems like they're looking for the mid tier here from the side of LCF, but no minions to their avail to just help them take out this turret. But then again, let's not forget the Lord, which is marching down the top lane. It can be a green light for the side of MSU to end the Lord, but then again, they have to look out for the Moskov, because that is the only key player here that can actually lock onto the crystal and end the game possibly.
Got the Titans done for LCF as they are looking for that final push for MSU. Fars also in trouble. Federer strike to come to complement something, but Vegeta in the midst of it, he wants to slash it out. Oh, Winter Crown to stop the Vegeta from getting that kill, but it's just gonna be 1 member down to the hands of MSU. They're looking for more. This could be a defense for LCF, or maybe not. Just one just appearing in the middle of it. That is crazy, ladies and gentlemen. Just blocking everything, and that is gonna be a triple for MSU. Mid lane exposed, everything exposed. This is the victory. Stark TZ cannot do anything more, and Malaysia takes the crown against India. What an intense match! Actually, the first intense match for this session, don't you think, once? Even you had to just magically appear in the middle of the screen.
I would magically appear on the screen. I'm like, no, LCF cannot lose. But nah, that was
What the heck?
I couldn't help it. But yeah, that was my attempt, my magic from my side. You to just help out LCF in that last. Game, when their key players started shining, which is definitely their Moskov, I'd say, because man, the moment he completed that Trinity build with the full build item, he just started obliterating Team LCF, because man, the way he was spearing them, and in the later phases of the game, he was actually hitting those SOD right on time as well. So that was a turning point for MSU Esport here. And boy, look at the screen here. It is gonna be our guy Kirito with the MVP, the mid laner, the Kagura, the assassin herself. And man, he just beautifully took out Asuna on that bush, man. That was a thing to witness.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Quite an intense match with Kirito actually taking that MVP for himself. It's gonna be Kirito Gra, because there's an exclamation. It's more like a shout, I should say, for military to say like "Hoorah" or something like that. So, but Gra indeed, because that combo coming in with that Kagura was crazy, deleting Asuna on like the later phase, which was very crucial for Lakshmi Chitfan to not be losing any members, but they did, walking to the bush, they did a Kumar Bakshia, So for now though, gonna be MSU enjoying their victory on their hands, but looking at these kind of numbers though, damage taken. Actually, the Lapu taking almost 200k damage is just crazy. Vegeta, though, he was very confident in using those raging slashes. He just goes in the back line. If they were not able to secure the kill, he goes in. And yes, he's also the carry indeed. Also a sandbag was just... Man, that's crazy, don't you think, Wands?
Oh, definitely. That was actually crazy. And if we take a look at his screen, we can also see our rich guy, which is, Stark TZ with the Granger and the carry from the side of MSU. It is the Lapu himself. And yeah, this was a really intense match. I was on the edge of my seat, especially in the last phase of that fight. And the fact that, LCF they fell off in the late game was a little painful to watch because, man, the way they played the early game and the mid game, it was looking really promising that they would win. But then again, they just kind of lost their tempo, and in the objective fight against the turtle there, I mean the Lord, that is where they start going downhill because they were so fixated on the Lord, their positioning. It got a little messed up, and that is where MSU took the advantage. And instead of looking for the Lord, they started looking for Starkeezy. They started looking for Asuna. They started to, just go for the members instead of the Lord. And yeah, that is what, made them win there. So that was a pretty good macro play from the side of MSU Esport on that last fight there.
Yep, indeed, once. But that, climax, that adrenaline rush is going to end for match number 2 right here. But congratulations for MSU for moving to the upper brackets. But as of LCF, though, don't worry. It's still not the end because the lower bracket is still there for that sweet redemption. If you can come back from the brackets, then you can make it to the playoffs. But still can't get over the fact that you just appeared magically in the middle of the most important fight, bots. That's crazy. But as of now, guys, we're gonna be hopping it out for there is your casters, Balti and Wands. But for now, it's gonna be a new set of caster in this next match against Malaysia and Indonesia. It's gonna be Trident Continue, I'm pretty sure, with FEA. But with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, stay hydrated, and and our next casters will catch you in the next one.
Yo, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to True International. We are finally in. Thank you so much for guys, for being patient with us as well. We are finally in. This is the third match. It's gonna be pretty interesting because it's gonna be, Indonesia against Malaysia again. We've seen what Malaysia has put up with MSU Esports as well. This is gonna be your caster Sebastian along with the one and only Debbie. So Debbie, how are you feeling right now?
I'm feeling very excited because Malaysia, Indonesia, two of the most famous country with esports team, especially in MLBB scene. So we have a guest right now, and I'm very excited to try to go for an interview with them. More than I'm excited about the game actually, because this is gonna be a first interaction we have with each other too, right? So I'm looking forward to it.
I'm definitely looking forward to it. Right now, we're going to go into one of the players from Fusion Esports as well. I think we gotta welcome it on, Yo, how are you feeling, my brother?
Yo, hi. Wow, we're feeling great. We're feeling really excited.
That's awesome, man. I want to ask, what are you feeling about going against, Indonesia here?
We not only okay, wait, sorry.
It's alright. Take your time, bro.
We're actually very excited to play Indonesia today. We have actually seen every competition now in the screen, and we are very excited to play against Trident Continue, and we wish them the best of luck.
No, definitely, that's awesome. So one more question I do have to ask. What were your preparation? What did you do? How did you train for just to get into True International as well?
We're actually a school team. We have played locally, but this is actually one of our first international competitions, and we are very excited to play.
Oh, congratulations, man, for making it all the way. Many do not get the chance. So thank you so much for coming in, Fusion Esports. Welcome, everybody. So excited to watch them play as well, isn't it, Debbie?
Yep. Yeah, I'm very excited because the first time playing in the international scene is gonna be a little bit of pressure for them as well. They might be a little bit nervous, but I can see the excitement coming out from them. So we'll see what they're gonna be bringing out onto the table, because Action Pact is what we're always gonna be watching for. But yeah, we have to welcome their opponents for today as well, because Trident from Indonesia.
We got Brian in as well, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for coming in, Brian from Indonesia. We got Trident Continue. How are you feeling?
Hi. My feeling is good.
It's good. Okay, that's perfect.
Yeah.
What is your plan here for today's match against Malaysia here?
My plan, rencana tim saya. Rencananya sih kita bakal main sebaik mungkin ya, main oke-nya lah, sesuai kita latihan gitu. Kita bakal usahain yang terbaik sih di turnamen ini, membawa nama Indonesia juga. Ya gitu aja sih.
That's wonderful, man. That's wonderful. And Brian, last question. Anything you want to say before the match begins?
Pesan-pesannya ya, pesan-pesannya buat pesan-pesannya ya, ayo ya kasih yang terbaik aja lah buat kita ya, biar sama-sama ngasih perlawanan juga. Itu aja sih, semangat aja ya.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you so much for coming in. This is Trying to Continue, ladies and gentlemen. Both the teams here are very strong. Some of them are new as well. This is something that it is going to be so important as well. We got India on the new as well in this upcoming tournament, And I would love to say that there's so many surprises that have come up with True International themselves. And thank you so much, Falls, once again for bringing up such a wonderful tournament here with NextG as well. So, I gotta say, Debbie, what are your thoughts on this? Because both teams here look so confident. And with, I gotta say, even team from Malaysia as well. They look so good. You know, Fusion Esports. They're so they look like they've been training and playing a lot together as well. That is one of the core core things you need as a team as well.
Yep. Actually right, because no matter what, the way you play, if your micro is good and all your skills are all set, it also comes down to the team fights, right? Most of the time, the synergy that you can bring on along with your teammates, and always the decision making as well. So most of the time, when they stay put together like a family, they do usually make the most of their macro as well. So I think it's gonna be worth it to see teams who are always playing together, playing together to always have a better chance in winning, instead of new players just coming together in one go. And this is also have to be the reason why some people, some new teams are actually struggling quite a lot in just trying to get to the point where they are going to be on top. But we'll never forget that it comes down to training, practicing as well. Micro skills depends on your own, but synergy wise, you just have to have that bond with your friends, with your fellow playmates. So this is one of the most important ones too, and it can be a great factor to try to win this game as well.
Exactly. My thoughts exactly, Debbie. And I just noticed that, the last match just before this, it was LCF versus, MSU Esports. I just realized that Kaja made a debut pick. And right now, even though he has only one match, he has 100% win rate in the jungle. What? What? I didn't expect that at all. I was hoping to see maybe a Fredrin or even possibly even an Ollus there would have been really nice too, considering that Fasha was there, stationary mage. Once again, he's gonna be able to run down, to the opponents. Oh, considering that he got buffed as well, so that's pretty good. A neat trick coming up by MSU Esports to do that. But I have to say, that was no easy win that LCF did. Proud of my guys, dude. Proud of my boys. They did so well. Like, the early game and the mid game were, like, top notch. Like, they controlled the map so well. But then again, MSU did have a really good, good amount of late game heroes. There's Moskov. There's even the Kagura as well. You can't mess around with Kagura in the mid lane. Even though you have like heroes like the Farsha as well. Her burst in the late game is a little bit too much to deal with. And even if you have like defense items, freeze and all, there's only there's only so much that you can do against her. Even with her immune that she has as well, and her burst coming up, and 2 sets of ultimate that she has as well. That's nasty work. But then again, MSU made it work.
Yep, they made it work. I mean, you did mention that it wasn't easy for for them to try to defeat LCF again, so we cannot count them out or rule them out too. It was one of the most dramatic games that we have seen so far. I mean, of course, it was just 2 days. It's just the second day for today, so we cannot, we'll never know what we'll be getting into the next days. But man, oh man, it was such a fun match to see so long as well. And at one point, LC had all the leads, all the ways to try to win the game, but in the end, it's just too much. The damage coming through from the side of MSU was just for them too much to handle, and a little bit of a mistakes that they made.
Exactly.
They did capitalize on that so well, and I think they really deserve that win. And well, like you mentioned, 100% win rate, Kaza. The chicken works, man.
Yeah, the chicken works. I've never, we've mostly seen him in the EXP lane or the roam. That is, matter of fact, that's where he belongs. I've never seen. Okay, some people may have seen, YouTube videos, shorts, and stuff. You're gonna be seeing them, Facebook, TikTok, you name it. He's gonna be there in the jungle. But to actually witness it right there in true international, that is crazy. That's peak moments, man. Oh my goodness me. This is why I love, true international. It gives us moments where you think it's never gonna happen, but they do. It works. They make it work. That's the best part. Yeah, that's the best part.
That's it kind of gets surprising too, right? What we cannot guess. Like, of course, we can be like, yeah, this hero is kind of in the meta. Yeah, this hero can actually work here, but we'll never know. The players are always gonna be surprising us. They're gonna be picking out heroes that we'll never be seeing. And even yesterday, we have seen that. I was also pessimistic already about the Rosa, right? Like the Rosa doesn't win you games anymore, so why bother trying to pick the Rosas? Just go for a different heroes that can literally be able to outfarm the Rosa. And then we last game also they made it work. So these are, it's just a surprising factor. It's just not the hero, maybe it's just the team decisions or the players as well. So it's just shocking. Always there is always a surprise factor in this international tournament that we are seeing. And yeah, man, and this is the second time we're gonna be seeing here again. And the last two games that we have seen, like we have already mentioned, it was such an action packed also. And I'm really excited right now because 2 power packs, right? I mean, what power packs? Powerhouses of the MLBB esports community. We have the Malaysia and the Indonesian. So too exciting. It's gonna be really exciting. And yeah, they are one of the most macro heavily dependent countries as well. So
Yeah.
I think we might see a lot of XP laners popped up again. And we have been putting shine on XP laners quite a lot, but they do deserve that. So I'm really excited to see what the heroes that are going to be picking too, because there are so many heroes that are so popular right now, and the Lapu Lapu has been always been good. Even the Yu Zhong also, it also highly dependent on what the players can do with it.
Debbie, I just have to point this out. I find it weird, but I hope no one takes it the wrong way. But if you think about the previous match there, LCF versus MSU Esports, Asuna got clapped by Kirito, if you know what I mean. I'm sorry, I have to say it out there.
Man.
I just the names were like so. How would I say it? It just matched so well, and I think maybe they were meant to go against the MSU Esports there, but that was no joke. That was one hell of a match. That was probably the best clash overall in the True International that I've seen so far. Most of them were like completely one-sided, wasn't it? There were no comebacks. There were no comebacks at all. It's just completely one-sided.
And I can see that the LCF and MSU was bringing a different thing this time around, and maybe the Malaysian teams and the Indian teams are gonna be having a little bit of a thought that maybe they just wanna compare what they can do to each other, like in the game, of course, competitively, of course. So there has to be a thought like, this time around in the first game they beat us, so maybe they'll be like, I'm gonna be bloodthirsty next, so we'll try to get away. And maybe even Malaysia may be like, the Indian teams, they were almost beating us, so we are not gonna let that happen again. So maybe we'll be seeing so much of a competitiveness coming out from the players as well, not just the two particular teams that we are seeing, but also the other 2 teams that haven't played yet.
Exactly. Oh man, it's the best part is just the start. It's just day 2, and we already see so much, so much capabilities of what each team are gonna be, have brought up as well. And there's a few more left that are gonna be up and playing as well. So that is, pretty awesome. I love the talent here. There's so much. And in such little time that they've proven themselves as to why they're in this tournament as well, as the reason why they were chosen for it as well. That's one of the main reasons why we need tournaments like this. True International living up to its mark once again.
And the thing is, I'm also still excited of what the players are going to be showing us, because we haven't seen it all. It's just the starting. Day 2 only, so this is definitely going to be a good one. We are going to be seeing much more than we are seeing right now. And you know what, I'm actually manifesting a little bit of assassin into the jungles, right? I mean, of course, assassins are highly dependent on micromanagement, right? But the macros also is important. But maybe this time around, Malaysia and Indonesia, might eventually try to go for the assassin jungle and play for the aggression into the early game, having the stronger XP laner. I really want to see a full-on brawl into the early part of this game. But maybe they might love brawl as much as India does, but we'll never know, because they are very good. They actually have to be more decisive than what we are used to. So maybe, just maybe, the assassin might pop.
Yeah, most definitely. I love that they're making the old school assassins come back to life again. The thing is, I think their nerf was a wee bit too much against them. To the fact that they're literally just useless. Even if you try to pick them, even if you're good at it, unless you have a 5-man team, it's not gonna work out at all. But then again, they made it work, and the old OG heroes are back in the EXP lane. The assassins again. But I think maybe the Hayabusa nerf was pretty balanced out, I would say, because he tends to burst out other people pretty quickly. I think that's a pretty good nerf, I would say. But then again, I think I don't know why they did not work on Frasha's burst, because that's way too much for an early game. And you saw what Asuna did, right, in the top lane there against not only against Lapu Lapu, but even against Matilda, who has freaking shield. That's way too messed up, if you think about it as well.
And that's something that we have to focus on as well. So Matilda, I think she was hit with a nerf actually, but then it didn't really work out, because we can see how much of a shield that she provides and the amount of time that he was able to get his teammates away from those chaos. It was the important members that he has saved time and time again, and I think it's definitely gonna be good.
Exactly, I agree. Oh my, I'm so excited to see Fusion Esports. So this is their first time playing, as he has mentioned. And it's Malaysia, Indonesia, they all have different strategies to point out to as well. One is really into the macro, I would say, and then the other one is way too into aggression sometimes, and they're focusing more on the late game as well. So that's I think that's one thing we have to look out for.
Definitely. But maybe, I think we are gonna be heading into the draft. But can you see our draft though? I don't think I'm really able to see the draft, man. But we have to wait though. It's just gonna be provided for us.
We have to wait. I think though, okay, there we have it. I think.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah. Thank you, Falls, for that as well. For providing us revision. Oh my goodness me, we were just talking about Matilda, and gets picked off by Trident Continue as well. We got Kuro Sensei coaching off for Fusion Esports, and it's gonna be Coach Rance against, with Trident Continue as well. They already have really strong picks in the early game. We're banning out the Earthel as well. I think that's a pretty good idea. But then they did give away the most, the Granger. So that's could be an issue. Could not be an issue, because that is a Moskov. Late game is guaranteed, unless if he's able to get that Spear of Misery along to that Granger, then it's gonna be an easy win for his side. But then again, there is Matilda, so the saves are gonna be pretty interesting from the side of Trident Continue. But then oh my goodness, I'm seeing a Kimi there. Do I see Kimi?
Yeah,
I do see Kimi.
Yeah, Kimi, man, in the mid lane. Under the hands of Fusion Esports, definitely is gonna be a good one of that. I really like Kimi better into the mid lane than into the goal lane, just because of the bully potential that she have into the mid side, whoever she goes against. And I think for this is the second time that I've seen the Yi Senshin banned away. So maybe that is something that we can easily, used to. But the Yi Senshin taken away, the Farsa also gone. The Farsa can be used as a little bit of a soft counter for the Kimi. I'm actually mentioning the soft counter just because of the clearance. I mean, the Farsa is definitely good in clearing, but the Kimi is also a bully in the mid lane as well. But the Farsa
Yeah.
does have limited time in comparison to the other majors. So Fusion Esports does a good job just trying to ban away the mid laner that can be a potential threat for them as well. But yeah, also we were talking about, I mean, I was actually talking about the assassins to be back, but then again, for the side of Trident Continue, they did ban away the Angela and the Ling. So maybe, you know, Kuro Sensei have been cooking something that they know and do not want to face, right?
Yeah, 100%. I think maybe it's definitely majority of the respec bans coming up here by Fusion Esports. I have to say, because I mean, even though the OSS ban is pretty good, it's not considered worthy unless you know someone in the opponent that's really freaking good with the Eastern Shin there. And what? They're banning out both
also shadows.
support heroes. Trying to continue doing it so that there's gonna be no help on their side. But Rafaela is still open now. That's an issue. But then again, she's a wee bit too squishy, and I've mentioned it before again. When you get a Fredrin, you need someone healing. Even a Minotaur would work at this point because he's gonna have the CC, he's gonna have the healing, which is it's not much, but it counts. You need that wee bit of healing because when Fredrin is gonna be using his skills, I think the last bonk that he gives, the bonking.
Yeah.
It tends to be way too low for his HP, and he just gets bursted out before he's able to, force it open as well. And I think they need to work on that, I would say, because sometimes it doesn't work, and it completely messes up the whole, I would say, momentum for Fredrin as well, unless he's able to get those kills for his teammates. Now that's an issue.
And the Ruby pick coming through for Fusion Esports here. I think they really wanted the Ruby just to have the crowd control that is necessary. And I think most of the time you do not want to play the Ruby against a Phobias just because of the passive that she has with the blink. It's going to be lowering the cooldowns of all the skills for the Phobias here. So it's definitely not a 1v1 situation that will pick for the side of Fusion Esports. But we'll never know what they can cook because the Jewhead is already picked away for the pick-offs. And you know what? I do like a Jewhead, but they need to combine with an extra burst. But look at the landslide, there we go! The assassin coming into play into the hands of Trident Continue here. And oh my goodness, now we do understand why the bans of the healers coming through here. The Estes gone, the Angela gone, the Foreign gone. They got the Matilda for themselves as well. But then we have the dive coming in, and the landslide is gonna be working really good this time around. And the Lancelot does well against in comparison to other assassins against a tanky utility jungler like this Fredrin. So it's gonna be exciting. Trident Continue, they want and go for those team fights as much as possible.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited to watch Lance, the dashings here is going to be wonderful. Kimi is going to be an easy pick-off for him as well, unless the flicker plays in, in a really good position. Then, they're going to be able to do something about it. Fusion Esports, but man, the Trident, they picked off so, really good heroes as well. Ruby to be countered out by Phobias, Moskov to be countered out by the Granger, and we got Lu Yi to be, against that Kimi as well. Pretty strong. And the dispersion, the only issue is that, the dispersion is going to be an issue, I would kind of say, but I don't think so. But look at the clearing from, Kimi there. She's going to be able to get into a really safe distance and help out clear the lanes as well as quickly as possible. We have okay, there we have it. It's looking pretty strong though, because the gold lane is going to be the core plays that they have to work on. And if Fusion Esports or Trident here, they make a mistake and let one of the marksmen from any side here farm, is going to be the loss for one of the teams here, because these guys are the make or break players in the late game as well. Oh my goodness me. Shara.
A put coming in, and I think like he tweets guys all the time though.
So close.
close.
OP
Close
looks
goal right
like
there.
he's in trouble as well. Fredrin looks out. The flicker has been popped up as well. Not looking good here. No, Lancelot dashes in a completely wrong way as well. But then again, he gets away from that. Okay, that was a very, very close call for Trident Esports. That was a big mistake that they could have made.
Okay, and I think I actually think this is definitely a good start for the side. I think East was able to bait away everything and then into the goal lane side as well, right? I think the Granzer does really have a good time against the Moscow because of the range that he have with the damage that he also have into the early part of this game. But then again, there was a pressure. He was actually the one getting freezed in the lane, so the star of this turtle is gonna be so important here. But Phobius though.
Phobius trying to mark that teammate as much as possible as well. It works well. What the heck? Ruby was the one in trouble for trying to continue here as Lancelot is taken away from the fight. I did not expect that, but Ruby did a beautiful. I'm offended right there, and hooks away the Lancelot from getting that turtle, and they get it. The first turtle goes to Fusion Esports. Their first game as well. Nervousness is gonna rack their their mindset and their plays, but then again, the sweaty hands are not gonna work enough to go against Trident Esports and lose possibly here. They're doing so well for the first time in the international tournament as well.
Yeah, they're definitely doing well, and this is what you have when you start with a utility jungle and Molten Ascends into the hands of the Fredrin. Is gonna be a good and potential winner into the clearance out of the jungle in comparison to the Lancelot too. But the first turtle into the hands of a utility jungle like the Fredrin is something you really wanna have. But the diversion though onto the bot lane, they are looking for something. But then looking at the map control, map advantage or map sense coming out from the side of Lucky 365 is so impeccable. Look at him, he just something was there. He's smelling danger maybe.
Oh no! Mage from Trident Continue pops off way too early there, I would say. Battle making sure that he's only going to be able to make his teammates, get ready for the gank here. Look at Exor tanking all of that damage as well. Oh, the thing about Phobius is that Ruby, he's going to enjoy so much against Ruby. The dashes there, his passive is going to be unlocking way more frequently than usual. But then again, that is a Ruby. There's no oh my goodness me, that was so close. Flicker had to be popped up. It's Fredrin. Imagine that one taunt from Fredrin and Lu Yi would have been, sent straight into the afterlife, dude. Matilda in the wrong spot over there for their side, and Fusion Esports get another kill again.
Wow, that was a perfect one for Fusion Esports right there, and they're tasting coming out from Extra under the bot lane though. They just want to try to contest this turtle again, but level 7 under the hands of Lemon. Meanwhile, Extra is still under the level 6, so this is not going to be good. But the Ezector though?
Oh my, look at Phobius, he's tanking all of the damage along with dealing huge stun as well. Ruby gets taken away by the lucky hits from the Granger, but then again, not looking good here. Oh my goodness, the dash is coming in from Lancelot as well. Luo Yi is being taken down here. I don't think this is going to be a good fight to continue for Trident Esports here. They're being taken down one by one. It's a 4-man kill with a Maniac coming up as well.
Wow,
oh my god.
Darkness showing everything that he could do into this early game with the Kimi sowing that he's the shadow that Trident will not overcome. The minute coming into play, look at this, the perfect execution coming in. They were able to get so much kill threats on that, and Opan wasn't in a position to try to run away. He does not have the flicker available for him. There was no way he was able to survive, and look at the taunt coming in from W2 as well. This is definitely going to be a good one, but look at that.
Len, I think he's going to be in trouble here. Matilda with the Soaring Eagle. Yes, they are able to take him down. The taunt coming up so well as well, but I think W2 has to get away from that. That could be a possibly bad play. I think we just interviewed Len as well. The Roma from Fusion Esports. My goodness me. He made sacrifices for that turtle fight, but a Maniac came to play, and it worked out so well for his teammates. Not only did they get the Maniac, they even got the turtle as well. So that is a huge bonus of EXP farm for their side as well. But there's not much in the gold though. That is pretty shocking. But Len once again Does a really good play, checking up that bush, but then again he gets taken down. That was a core play.
No.
You know, imagine if Moscow was the one to check that, it could have been really fatal for their side as well. But that's not a good play. Lucky, you have to get out of there. There is a 4-man ready to take him down.
Actually, 1k goal lead into the side of Trident Esports. Trident continues there, but look at that fights again.
Oh no, not looking good here. Ruby might be enough to sustain herself out there, but Kimmy is gonna be the issue here. They have to mark him out. Eject here coming up as well. Lancelot looking, he might be able to get this, but no. He's not able to push away the Lance on time. And he gets that kill as well. Kimmy looks like he's in trouble. The flicker is able to get him away though. Look at the damage, the burst coming up by Granger, and he gets it. Oh, the flicker coming up as well. What a beautiful play by Granger there. Oh my goodness me, what?
What are we seeing, Sam? Because this is time and time again a pendulum effect. Once we see Fusion Esports coming out on top, and then again Trident with the comeback, able to get all the kills into the hands of Serath here. He's just, dealing a lot of damage with the Rhapsody as well as the Death Sonatas, and giving him the shutdown onto Darkness is the best possible scenario you wanna see in this game, giving your goal laner all the goals that he's gonna be needing. And already he got 4 kills, and this is supposedly the way for them to have a comeback, and they already did, because look at the structure so far. They sent out the Lancelot to go into the far lanes, and the other teams, the other players are staying absolutely together so that they will try to look for team fights more and more, because now that the mid game is already on and the Granzer is already farmed quite well, they want to go stay in team fights. Look at the damage though.
It looks like Lancelot is gonna be the one to fall as well, but that was a really clean plays coming up there. They do not have Ruby now, and maybe group fights are gonna be a way bit easier, but then again they have 2 frontliners there. It's gonna be the Jawhead and the Fredrin here, so they cannot make any filthy plays right now. Fusion have to play it well. They need to mark that Granger, otherwise he's gonna be a huge problem there. He's got the Hunter Strike, Sky Piercer, and the Malefic Gun already. Look at Phobius, gets bursted in an instant with the taunt and the ejector as well.
I think that was the best thing that they can do for Fusion Esports here. They could only try to look for a trade up to the top lane, and the only person who was alone was Exor. He does not have any ways to survive that also, and I think that also has to be the reason why he was holding on to the flicker, because even if he does flicker away, he was dead anyway, because the taunt coming through from W2 onto the Fredrin was too much, and I don't think he even have a way to breathe right there. And that is the only way for Fusion Esports to try to look for a compensation of all of what they have lost. And the later the part of this game goes, I think the way that Trident continue have the advantage is that they do have a Lancelot, right? They do have a Lancelot to play into the far lanes. Even when they tried to start for the Lords, they couldn't go directly for the team fights because he's always going to be pressuring the other lanes. And for Fusion Esports, they do not have that kind of players. They do not have that kind of hero to go for. But Exor though, trying to start a fight.
Oh my goodness me, look at Phobius dealing so much damage. There we go, that's the issue that they have to look out for. And it's Lance. The Kimmy is nowhere to be found right now. Lance gets taken away. Double kill coming up by Shard as well.
Lord.
Oh my goodness me, Lord gets slain by Trident. Lucky is able to get a lucky kill on their side as well. They get Louis, no more dispersion on their side. But look at this, we have to check the replay, man. Look at that, Lance was in a perfect position to take down their Kimmy, their main damage dealer there. Look at that, he uses the Phantom Execution a little bit too early, but as a matter of fact, it worked out pretty well because he needed to, he needed that burst damage. If he used it a little bit, late there, the Flicker would have popped in early and saved it, he would have saved himself there. But Lance did a really wonderful job. Oh my, I didn't expect the Lance pick, but then again, Fredrin with no healers, it's kind of to be expected here because he's going to be able to use him as a stepping stone to get into the backlines there.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's definitely what we are seeing right now. Already 4 bills onto the hands of the Granger right here, and Charlotte is just gonna be dealing a lot of damage and able to frontline anything. Able to hit from the backline because the frontlines are strong enough to help him survive. Look at that monster kill. There was a lot of damage onto a Ruby we are talking about, but onto the bot lane as well. There was a lot of damage coming through though, but W2 might be in trouble. Oh, there was a very, very close call. There's one sliver of HP, but then again, look at Trident continue. They are marching down to the mid lane.
Oh, not looking good. Lancelot has vision on her as well. The flicker has to be popped up there. Oh my goodness, what a wonderful play there, but he's not going to be able to make it out. Granger's burst is a little bit too much as well. He's even got, Bloodwings are already in their side as well. It looks like this might be the last stretch for the side of Fusion Esports, but we have to see the one last minion is left. Ruby is taken down. Core hero there. Careful mistakes have been popped up there. Lancelot dealing a huge ton of damage as well. Oh, Phoveus is able to get away from that. He's able to get away from the Phoveus. There's just a few more hits to the base now, and I don't think they're all gonna be able to make it, but they do. They do. It's just Lucky left against Lancelot and Matilda.
My goodness. Brian, with that damage, was able to dive in quite well, and look at this here. The Granger here, sure, was caught on quite a lot, but with his build, very, very interesting build that he had onto the Rose Gold meter, was able to save him time and again, and even with the Rondo, he was able to survive such a slippery marksman you do not really see, but Darkness was able to get all those kills, but it wasn't enough because there is already a Lancelot who is always diving onto your backlines, and time again, Darkness hasn't been able to sign much as he did into the early game because Brian is always diving onto him, and even to the point that he was getting a kill, and there's no taunt whatsoever for the side of Fusion Esports to help him survive all of that, and that has to be the main source of problem right now. But then again, Fusion Esports does have but 2 scaling heroes onto their side, but will it be enough because the frontliners are too squishy at this point, and there's a lot of damage coming through, and this is gonna be the Lord secured by Brian again. The fight is on.
Oh my, once again, looks like Fusion could be in trouble here. Darkness, Total's be taken down there. Lucky dealing a huge amount of damage. He gets Spear of Misery! Because Spear of Misery is such a... Oh no! That was such a close call! Oh my goodness, the Spear of Misery! Oh man, I did not expect the Matilda to get behind the Granger, and they could have, made it out there, but this could be the last stretch. The bot lane.
Okay,
they need to.
okay.
Oh no,
Bot
the
lane,
top
no.
lane, the top lane. The top lane!
Oh, Brian?
Top lane!
Oh, is he doing it back to us?
You gotta be able to make this! Yes!
What? What are we seeing there?
What in the world?
What is this? What are we watching,
goodness
yo?
Oh no, that was nasty. That was nasty. Fusion
Nah,
Esports.
man. Nah.
I think
My
if the injector did not come to play there, they would have lost by a split second. It was the battle of lost hits, literally right there. It wasn't just minions, it's not the turrets, it's not the heroes. It was the crystal base at play, and it made it work. Oh my, Fusion Esports, I think they've got a lot to learn. It's just that it's their first time. Nervousness is, it's gonna settle in your mindset there, but it did not, keep them from getting that maniac along with the win as well. That was a pretty close call. To try and continue could have, made a wonderful play there. I think maybe if he could have gotten the, the attack speed there, I think maybe he could have gotten it though.
I think that was it. But it's a battle of a Moskov and a Lancelot, and of course the Moskov is gonna be having the attack speed as well, and the Lancelot, I think for Brian there wasn't a way for him to have those kind of comebacks, because even if he go back for the base to try to defend it, there's no way he could do it. And there we go, MVP Mr. Lucky 365 Really, KDA is so perfect for 1-9 with team participation, also 76 in total. And 800 goal per minute is actually very decent in comparison to the Granger, because when you go against the Granger, you're not going to be having the best time. But he was able to farm out quite well, and I think
Exactly.
he had a lot of map sense, right? He had that Spidey tingles, right? Spidey sense on him, and he can sense the diversion coming to play as well. And I think that is the part where it worked the most. And he's only taken down once, and he also did a outplay onto Serot, onto the Granger again when he dived in just before the Lord. That has to be one of the main reason why he was also deserving of this MVP again. And not to forget the last Empire onto the base as well. And there's a lot of damage coming through from both of these teams. Even Trident Continue were able to have all that they have, but surprising factors
Yeah.
always surprising us, always coming in.
There we have it, ladies and gentlemen. That was Trident Esports versus, so
Fusion
nasty, man.
Esports, man.
I can't.
It's
LCS.
nasty.
I'm sorry that I just can't concentrate because that was one hell of a play from both the teams. The thing was, look at that. How the
Wow.
rich guy goes to Lancelot
It's
from
like,
Trident
look at that.
Continue there.
It's all Trident Continue, man. Look at this. Sandbag, best wingman, carry, rich guy, everything is Trident. If you thought that this was if you just see this kind of result, you would have thought that Trident Continue were the one actually winning out, but it's actually the other way around. This just means that it was an epic comeback.
Definitely, definitely. I think Lucky lives up to his name because that was one
Yeah.
lucky spear of misery.
Man.
I thought, as a matter of fact, at least Matilda would survive, but he went into the back there, and as Granger was dashing right into Matilda, he got hit with the spear of misery, and that was very, very crucial move for Fusion Esports here. They won. They won. They did so well.
Yeah, man, they are perfectly doing well in this tournament as well. And I think, they were into back for so much, right? But then again, we'll never know what you're gonna be seeing. And what a good play coming in from Malaysia, man. Oh, there are chills everywhere. I was actually feeling jitters. And when there was a victory announcement right there, I thought it was for Trident because it was actually Brian who was in the base. But actually, Fusion Esports, they were the one. Nah, I can't get over this. This needs to be clipped, man. This needs to be clipped.
We were having our hopes up. I think maybe try to continue. We're about to get that, and it looked like the camera kind of zoned in the victory, but then it started going all the way to the side of
The other side.
Crystal, and I was like, wait, what? How did that happen? But it worked out well for both the teams. Both the
Man.
teams played so well. They have to say, man, that was no joke. I think it was. I gotta say, it was some good repeat of the last match against LCF and MSU Esports as well.
Yeah. Day 2 is all about the cinemas, but yeah, we cannot forget we have another game coming up next because it's gonna be India versus Bhutan, and we're gonna be 2 new teams popping up. I mean, new for this international one, and yeah, we're gonna these two play again. So before that, why not give us a time to try to catch our breath, and we'll be.
Oh, guys, ladies and gentlemen, we are so sad to say that the final match for the evening will not be happening because Peak to Plummet are have failed to respond within the given time. But I think this could be a sad yet pretty good strategy coming up here for for the opposing team from Bhutan as well. The thing is that Onyx here, they're going to be able to hide their tactics for a while. And strategy is hidden, so that could be a pretty good step up in the game for them as well. But right now, I think we have a guest right now, isn't it?
Yep, we have a guest from none other than Onyx Paradox. Hello, sir. Hello.
How are you doing,
feeling?
man?
I'm good. How about you guys?
We're doing fine. Debbie. Why don't you handle this one now?
I mean, we have a long chat into the background. It was so fun to see that. But we were pretty much excited about seeing this game. But unfortunate events coming through, we weren't able to move on from this. But yep, like Sebastian mentioned, I think it's gonna be a good strategy for you guys to try to hide your strategies farther into the future. But yep, we were about to ask how we're gonna be feeling. How which teams are you gonna be thinking is gonna be the hardest to face again?
Actually, we are very excited for this tournament, and it's actually our third national tournament. And in this current tournament, I think Kiki Sports might be the strongest opponent against us.
Oh, definitely. Good choice, man. As we can see them perform so well in their own world, I would say too. But yep, they were able to do so well so far in what they're doing. I think you got a good eye on good players, though. So, what are your plans for your teams? Because this is actually a win for you already. But nevertheless, what do you think Peak to Plummet could have brought to you against you?
Actually, we haven't prepared anything against them. Like, since some of our players were busy engaged with their midterm exams, so we couldn't prepare anything. But we were well aware of the current patches, so it was going to be a fun match. But we got the bye, so actually it's lucky for.
That's pretty awesome. That's pretty awesome, man. Oh, we were all so excited to watch you guys play, man. Tonight it's just, I think it happens for a good reason, and your team were lucky as well. So, thank you so much for coming in. We're so sorry that the match couldn't be played, but then again, I think your team will be having a bit of free time, not just to study up on their exams as well, but along with practicing for the real competition that's here in True International as well. Thank you so much, man.
Hey, thank you.
Log jage. Oh, guys, I think that was pretty sad from India here in True International. But then again, it's it is what it is. It is what it is.
And the thing always goes.
Yes, continue. Sorry, my bad.
Oh no. We were actually we are like two persons sitting together in a conversation drinking tea. Well, jokes aside though, yeah, we are ending out to the day 2 with that a win for Onyx Paradox, and we will not be getting to see them play, but that was unfortunate, but for also positive reasons. But other teams going to be getting into the next round. But yeah, I'm not sure how we're going to do it, but Bolty would have been an experienced guy right there, the headcaster. But he's not there, so we're going to be handling it right now, and I think Joel's going to be leading us to that. The team that we're going to have to draw.
Yes, we're going to be having a draw right now for the next, I think.
Right, it's fine. We are sure we'll be able to play. I was actually really excited to see Peak to Plummet, man.
I wonder. I have to say, I think today was quite a twist of events. we're seeing things that we did not, didn't expect at all. There were epic comebacks coming in from both teams, and then a really, really close call from, from Fusion Esports there, and Trident continue. I didn't expect, the fall, Trident to go down that quick, but then again, it is what it is. They gave such a tough spot for Fusion Esports to play in, but the fact that Fusion were able to, get away with it, get back on their feet a wee bit there with the Lucky, I think having Lucky in your IGN there gives a bit of luck as well. Because that was, the Spear of Misery was so lucky, I have to say, it moved so well. And the fact that it was only Lance left who was almost so close to, finishing off Fusion from the tournament as well. They were able to get away with it. And not only that, they were able to settle the score on their, on their very first match as well, which is pretty awesome, I would say.
Yeah, that was perfect as well, and I think they have what it takes. The play style was actually very disciplined too, and even if they were losing out, they were actually winning at some point. So we cannot forget those. That was a very, very unexpected turn of events. But I think that was not really a dominance. Right to the early game, they also did well. Even Trident, they were continuing to gain lose out most of their momentum, but they also gain it back again. So it was back and forth movement. The goal is sometimes into the hands of Trident, sometimes into the hands of Fusion. And like I mentioned, this is MLBB we are talking about. It's always gonna be different scenarios we're gonna be coming up with. There's no saying how it's gonna be ending, and this, especially today, was a great example of it, and we can see how much of a player can provide. Can show us as well, and yeah, that was what we are going to be seeing, that we have seen, and that has to be also the reason why I was really looking forward and excited for the future games, because we'll never know what they're going to bring out, and all the heroes available. I mean, most of the heroes still valid to play. I mean, not just valid, but meta able to play. This is such a good meta where you're not gonna be seeing what you're not gonna be expecting what you're gonna be seeing. So that's a good start even today.
So I think we, I think we'll be finally, ending the stream. I think, if not mistaken, for the day. Oh, not yet. Yeah, sorry. The drafting. Sorry. The
draw.
The draw is the draws has to be done yet as well. There's got to be a technical issue here.
We have to draw some, man, because we just want to see who's Indonesia is gonna meet, who's Malaysia is gonna meet, who's Philippines gonna be meeting, and we do not want to see one country's and both of their teams meeting against each other. So that's something too. So yeah, we're gonna be drawing for fair and square competition as well. There's no side choices, just the pure live, and yeah, you're gonna have to do it now. But before that, we have to discuss just a little bit of what we can wait around for, because maybe we can drink some tea.
Exactly. But think about it. This I have to really have to thank False again, along with Next Gen, Next G, because the True International isn't something that is easy to make. It's not easy to form a tournament like this, and they're making it look so effortlessly. And I think we have to hats off to Falls here, man. He's been behind the scenes for hours, man. Again, I have to say thank you. Mogging for you. Wait.
You are not doing the kiss, man. You're not. Okay, that's cool. That's cooler. Your signature kiss. Nah, man. I don't think I really want to see that today.
Yes, but man, I'm happy. So many countries are getting back together just on and just because of one game, just because of one thing, they're getting back together. We're forming parties, bringing in communities closer. I mean, whether it's toxic or not, it's still closer, isn't it?
Yeah.
But yeah.
Or not, it's a public game, so it's always gonna be you're always bound to see some people, some new and I mean old ones
But yeah, there we have onto the screens right now, and ladies and gentlemen, if you can see, it's gonna be the winner brackets to the first round we're gonna be having, because KK Esports is there, Quantum Satoru Alpha, Cosmic Frogs, I think they are the best favorites, and then Leon Esports, and today's winners, MSU, Friends and Friends X and 8IV. Oh, this I was saying Friends. Season Esports and the recent winner, Onyx Paradox. They are into the upper brackets right now, and we're going to be drawing who's going to be meeting against each other. And as you can see on the screen, this is going to be the format right now, and you have to try to win. And yeah, you know, I think, wait. 2 of the Philippines are here, the Philippine teams. 1 Indonesian team knocked down. Wait. Even the, where's, no. 1 Malaysian, 1 Bhutan. 2 Malaysian actually.
Yeah.
Oh, so, okay. No Trident. They are in the lower brackets.
Trident will be in the lower brackets though. That was nasty, man. Fusion was lucky, I have to say, because I think after like both the teams were equally, equally against each other. The stats and everything, they were both good. The early games were won by Fusion though. But then again, they made such a good comeback in the late game. But then they was equally fought, I would say. Right now, I think the drawing is happening right now. So who is gonna be the first?
Yeah, if you get I don't know, like it's gonna be, yes, upper brackets. They are gonna be the best thing. So, if Indonesian, oh wait, it's like actually very OSA against.
Didn't you just say Indonesian?
USA? I mean, Quantum Satoru Alpha. They were performing so well, man. Who are they gonna go against? Philippines versus Philippines.
These guys are gonna be the first to play as well. They're pretty strong. They showed it off in the early game as well. The first day, if not mistaken. There we have it. Who is gonna be their next contender?
Oh, Leon.
Okay, Leon. Let's go.
They're gonna be the one who's gonna be going against Quantum Satoru Alpha. And I think this is gonna be a big competition, guys. It's one of their own. So no Philippines versus Philippines. Oh, that was. Never mind, because to the next year, I think we're gonna be seeing another draw. Who's gonna be going against each other? KK Esports still there. Cosmic Fox is also still there. Oh, the
Who is it going to be? Oh, it's gonna be Frenzy. All right.
Oh. There we go. Looking good. Who are they? Who are they gonna go against now?
So this is the third match. Oh no, sorry, the second match, isn't it?
Oh, this is looking interesting, man. Even Onyx hasn't been able to pair up to me yet. I think it's gonna be them. I think it is. No, wait, it's not.
Could be KK though.
Huh?
Oh, it's Cosmic Frog!
Oh, Cosmic! Oh.
Okay! You guys are strong, man.
Oh my god, it's a strong contender! Oh my goodness, you're gonna...
With their coach Agile, man, right in the middle there as well. He coaches really well too.
Now it's up. Okay, this is gonna be the decider. Wait, if this goes on, Malaysian versus Malaysian? Wait, Malaysia versus Malaysia?
Good luck. Oh, okay. Either MSU or Fusion. Oh, okay, it's Onyx right now. Okay, Onyx.
They're here with the purple jersey perfectly on line.
I think finally they will be able to play this time.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Good one, right? Wait, Malaysia can't get happen here if KK Esports popped up from Laos now.
Oh no! All right, the drafting once again.
Oh, give us Malaysia, brother.
Don't give us Malaysia, brother. Oh no!
Oh, wait. Okay, there we go. Friends.
Oh no, it's Buddha.
Fusion Esports. No, Malaysia versus Malaysia. It was so close. That was close. But yep, Onyx versus Fusion Esports right now. We can see. Look at that. Koro Sensei.
I think now we're going to be drafting on who's going to be the first pick. I think.
Oh no, it's just they're already decided. KK versus MSU.
MSU Esports. These are the ones that they were close to getting taken down by LCF there, but I would say that was a pretty good shot at their point as well.
Wait, Onyx thought that they they thought that KK Esports and Cosmic Fox were the best in this tournament, right? But they didn't get them. Oh, that was cinematic. If they get them, it could have been such a good gameplay, a good team, a good games that we're gonna be seeing. I think the upper brackets are done. I think we have to go for the lower two, but yeah. So no Malaysia versus Malaysia. All the countries are facing against each other, and it's sad to say, Sap, we do not see India.
Yeah, but it's okay. I think we did it. I mean, LCF did show what we were capable of, so I'm more than happy for that as well. Thank you so much for that, LCF. Thank you for that as well.
It was good.
I would say there was.
I mean, it wasn't predictable, right? They played better than we thought. We gave credit for, but there we are to the lower brackets. Though we have two of the Indian teams in the lower bracket and one each from the other countries. Okay, Bhutan have two. Wait, I see Paradise is there. 7Cs is also there. Okay, that was my part. Okay, Vortex Rain as well. V32, LCF, Trident. There's one Indonesian in the lower bracket, no?
I think there's two though. Okay, LCF. First.
Okay. First. Look at the cute manager, bro. No, okay. No? Okay.
Not for me. Sorry.
Alright.
Not for me,
What if they go against Peak to Plummet?
Oh, if they get that, that would be nasty work by, False. Let's just play False. I'm just messing with you, False. We love you,
Yeah,
man.
we know, baby.
No!
What? Oh! Did I just jinx it? Oh no!
What in the world? But then again, they were bound to go against each other if you think about it, I think it's... But then we're gonna see one hell of a play though. It's gonna be one awesome play. They're both gonna be in their own servers in a sense, Indian servers, so it's gonna be really good.
That's true.
One hell of a battle the International is gonna experience.
Yeah. At least one Indian teams are gonna move forward, right?
No,
there we go.
I see Paradise. Let's go. I think these guys could have easily won though. I think.
Thank you. LCF vibes.
They could have won, man. I think they need to work a little bit on their jungler macro, I would say. Otherwise, everything is fine. The jungler's macro is their issue on IC Paradise. So I think if they fix that, it'll be perfect. Right now, would it be Timor-Leste? Let's see. Oh no, it's gonna be Indonesia.
Indonesia. Vortex Rain.
Let's go. Oh man, we just jinxed our own country, man.
I mean, could be. We just want one Indian team to move forward, right? That has been something. That is.
That'd been awesome.
Not my fault. Not our fault, guys. Don't blame us. It's the drawing part. It's a automatic draw. We do not control it. So.
Exactly.
4 teams left though. Oh, there we go.
Try to continue now. We got it. There we go. This is wonderful work. I gotta say, once again, the interface, dude, Falls, you've done one awesome job at this as well. Didn't expect this. Woo! It's clean, smooth. I gotta say, imagine if it's gonna be 7Cs here. I don't want to jinx them anymore.
Oh, nah.
Timor-Leste, they need it, man.
Yeah, we have to see who's gonna be getting it. Even Vini Vici is not yet up there, so they did really good too. But unfortunate there for them, they did not pass through the upper bracket. Go to the oh wait, Zap, you jinxed it again. 7 Cs. Nah,
I'm
I think we're
sorry.
about to get right here.
Oh no.
Bhutan versus Bhutan.
India versus India.
No.
Timor-Leste versus Timor-Leste. Oh.
Oh yeah.
They're basically fighting that. This is basically just embodiment of there may be two of us. There's only one, one winner. Two of us, but one winner.
That's perfect.
Oh, that's-
I think.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's set up perfectly fine. 0-1 bracket. Oh my god, LCF versus P.
Oh man. But,
oh wait, India versus India and Bhutan versus
Yay.
Bhutan. Oh, perfect.
GG's.
Not perfect, but perfect. Not our fault. I think that's it, right? This is the fixture
Yay.
for the next round. Upper brackets and lower brackets. I think this is the part where we're gonna be seeing a lot more of the players, right? We're gonna have to have an insight of them too, because we have already seen them right now, and it's gonna be interesting too. I think we're done with it.
Yeah, I think we're definitely done. The drawing has been done. The matches have been played for day 2 here. Day 3 is just around the corner. It's just in a few hours. It's gonna start as well. So, ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned. This is not the end. It's just literally just day 2. As I've mentioned, Debbie and I here, we're always gonna be here. False is gonna be here. Wands and Balti, the legendary Mr. Ash as well, casting on ours. Thank you so much for joining us in the video. We will be saying, peace. What did I just say, guy? I think my hunger is getting to me, man. I could eat a
we
cow
gotta
right
eat.
now.
We gotta eat.
So, guys, thank you so much for joining in. See you all till next time. Bye, guys.